Welcome back to another episode of Open Ranks. I am your host, Coop, and I'm here with my co-host, Henry, and we also have a special guest who I consider a brother of mine, Devin Cobbs.
Good
Devin,
morning,
how
y'all.
are you?
I'm all right,
What's going
man.
on?
Nothing much. It's
Good.
it's it's an early morning, but it's all good.
It's good to see you. It's good to see
Yes,
you.
sir.
Seems like
Same
we
here.
ain't been able to. Seems like we ain't been able to talk or chat in like 8 months, bro. Like being on different shifts and shit. It's
I know
crazy.
you've been traveling, man. I've been here just kind of holding down the fort while you outside. So I
Hey man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Devin and I share the same unit and have developed a brother-like friendship over the last few years, and I can't think of how many times we have shared laughs or stories and memories over the last few years. It's been great. So what I know of Devin to be is an incredible role model and inspiration to me, especially with his work ethic and what he's been able to accomplish thus far in his career as well as personal goals. To name a few, to me is that's big as real estate. He's getting ready to graduate school here in a few weeks. Uh, he's bilingual. He speaks Spanish as well. This guy is a overachiever to say the least. I'm sure there are more I'm missing here. What else am I missing?
oh man, I'm a photographer. Been a photographer about 10 years now. Doing anything from weddings to street photography. Yeah, like you said, I have a couple houses and been doing some real estate for a while now. And honestly, outside of that, man, I just like working, grinding away at school, hanging out with my friends. I love snowboarding and gymnastics. That's like my two favorite sports, which is kind of weird because you don't hear many African Americans doing that kind of stuff. But why not, right? So
Yeah.
it's a constant challenge. But yeah.
Shit, we went snowboarding last year. Well,
Yeah.
snowboarding, skiing, however you want to slice it. We went to Denver last year.
Dude,
Yeah. It's a good
it's
time.
so fun.
Good time. I think I
So if
told him
y'all
about
want to
that.
go at the end of this year, man, I'll be scot free, man. I'll be ready to go. So
All right, go
You
out
get on the
there.
EpiPass.
I'll teach y'all the real ropes though, but y'all got to do it snowboarding, not skiing, because I don't know skiing like that.
Okay.
How we did it?
Yeah.
You snowboarded. I skied.
I snowboarded. He skied.
Yeah.
Yeah. Devin usually
Yeah, it was
snowboards
cool.
as well. You got to try to
Okay.
snowboard. I don't know. The way them niggas, people be falling off the damn
All right,
skis,
bro.
bro. Hey, I
It's
can't,
like scorpion in this shit. I'm good, bro.
bro.
Hey,
I'm good.
And it's the funniest shit, bro. It's the funniest
as
shit.
soon as we got out there, I was like, I want to fall as hard as I can first.
Far as hard as
I did.
Man,
I
bro, he
did.
did, dog. And
Like,
I was like, damn, he failed, but at the same time, like I wanted him to be safe, obviously, but no, that shit was so fucking
so
funny.
funny, yeah.
as soon as I
Yeah.
clicked in, I went down the hill. Shit was smooth until it's time to stop. I couldn't stop. My legs went out from under me. I'm talking about ski up in the air type shit. I almost hit somebody's child.
I'm really
Nah,
mad I didn't
Ain't
get that shit
stopped
on
till I
camera.
hit the wall. I had to hit the little gate. That was the only thing that slowed me down. I just laid there for a
geez.
second, and I was like, "Well, that's out the
Yeah.
way. Now we can learn and really try to do it."
Did
So
you do
in the end, it was
Bunny
cool.
Hill?
Is that what they call the smaller, like
Yeah, we was on the
practice
bunny
style
hill.
here? Yeah, that's when
Okay.
we first got up there.
Okay,
Click,
cool.
click, gone.
I was like, as long as you wasn't doing that on like no big Mountain Blue too, type stuff, because that would be crazy.
No. Yeah. Towards the end, we went on like whatever the more advanced slope was that was available for the section we was at. That was cool, But yeah, I would go out there again. I think the more you do it, obviously, you increase your ability to navigate larger slopes and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, and it's kind of a thing where you don't really see, like I said, you don't really see us out there. So like, in the I've been doing it for 7 years, 7-8 years now. So like in the time you start seeing yourself get better, you start seeing other people looking at us like oh my, like, especially like when you start traveling like overseas and stuff like that. You go to I went to Austria and I was the only black dude on the mountain, and so like that's a whole different. And they don't speak English, so it's like mixing dynamics with dynamics, man. And people come to you just like shook. So it's a fun time though. I really enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
For
We
sure.
actually went
I'm down.
snowboarding again. And I had all my shit. I went out there and I did way better than I did the first time too.
Yeah.
It was one of the slopes I was moving. I'm like, oh, I did eat shit.
You always go, I still eat shit. I've been snowboarding for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
part of it. But shit, you catch that board the wrong way one good time, it's over with, boy.
Yeah, I feel like my worst injuries is when I fail helping somebody else out. It's always my slow falls be my worst falls.
Man, I must have face planted, dog. I'm being airborne and everything. It was bad. I ain't gonna lie. But so, like always, and what's been we can consider open range tradition at this point, especially when we have new guests. We like to start off by asking them, to state who they are, where they're from, and why they joined the military. So, if you don't mind.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Devin. I'm 27. I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm a little Southern boy. Why did I join the military? To be honest with you, and I'm not even going to sugarcoat, it was at a point where I didn't have my own choice and my own decisions when it comes to like college and my life, because I didn't do as well as I needed to in high school. And because other people were playing for my school, they kind of was restricting me on the things that I really wanted to do. And so I was like, well, I don't need y'all like that. I can figure it out. I still need my family and my friends and whatnot, but I don't need y'all to like direct my path to my life. So I decided to join because my grandfather always told me these crazy stories, and I wanted to be a part of that. Just not, getting shot, but all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that's why I joined.
What branch is your grandfather in?
He was in the Air Force as well.
Oh, where? Okay.
Yeah.
But he must have been doing a more intense career field. It
He
sounds like
was in, he'll gladly tell you I was back in now. So he would have gladly told you that, and he had stories for days. So it was kind of interesting.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Word. That's not too bad. What's your current AFC now? How you been enjoying that?
I'm a crew chief. I work on planes. I've been doing that almost 8 years now. June makes 8 years of being an actual mechanic. And do I enjoy it? Hell no. To be honest with you, I just feel like the things that I want in life are going to require work. So in order for me to get to those things and ask of those things from other people for their help and support, I have to do my part and do my job. On top of that, on a real note, I don't want people to die, because you do bad maintenance, people can't die. And I don't want that on my hands. And that might sound selfish, but I don't want that on my hands.
Yeah, facts.
No, I was gonna say, I don't think everybody who works in maintenance, I don't think everybody goes to work with that approach as far as understanding what's at risk, what's at stake when it comes to how you approach your job. Coop and I met obviously in Charleston. He was crew chief there. I was non-destructive inspection, so we crossed paths. And I remember working in a lab with some people who would just, I won't obviously say any names, but when I first got there, like A1C shit, they would just, if we got some parts in and they ain't feel like doing it, they just spray some water on them and walk, and that's it. Because at least it looked like it's done. You dig what I'm saying? And so, obviously, you say the right things to the right supervisors, but culturally, it's important to have people there who want to do the work and understand the risk associated. So I'm glad you said that. That's a shout out to anybody in maintenance.
Exactly. Yeah. I this ain't an easy job. The job can be very taxing. It's you're in all weathers. You're not. It's not the best conditions at all. Even deployment stops sometimes. You're not in the best conditions. But at the same time, like that if you did your job, that's all satisfaction you should need. And then also like family and friends. Like your coworkers are your family, even if you don't like them. You at work with them. So like the better you do with understanding each other and understanding the job, like it just makes the time much more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, you was on 130s, right?
I was on C-130s.
Yeah. Okay. You ever deployed?
No, I never deployed. My unit was a training unit, so I never had that opportunity. I wish, man. I hear all the cool horror stories, and I'm like, man, I wish I did it.
Hell no.
We was on here with Laisha last episode, a friend of ours who also from New Orleans, and she was in security forces though, so she deployed 2 or 3 times, and she was trying to sell us on why somebody should want to go out there. And by the time we got done listening to all the horror stories, She said, well, y'all right, but don't say it like that because when you get back, right? When you get back, you get to say everything that you accomplished and what you got over.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I'm glad in the time that I was in, I managed to kind of avoid that. I only got picked one time and they took me off of it. So I was cool with it.
Oh no,
Well, I
Take
didn't
us
even
through
know.
the
I'm low key money motivated too, though. So like, it's one of those things
oh
where
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the money is
you
good.
talking about tax free for how long? I ain't gotta pay, and I gotta pay no bills. I can call the company and say like, hey, according to the SCRA, I don't have to pay bills while I'm gone. So what?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
100%.
That is a part I overlooked a little bit. I will say that.
For sure.
But whew, I just can't get over them 12-hour shifts 6 days a week. That's
Yeah, but I
120
think
degrees. That's rough.
you're right. But I think think of it as like you have no other responsibility.
Yeah, true.
No.
You just chilling. Like you just got to go to work and do that. That's
Literally,
it.
that's it. There's no, you ain't got, if you want to do school, you can do school. You ain't got to worry about no programs. You ain't got to worry about no extracurricular stuff. You go to gym, go to work, eat, go to sleep. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a plus if you single though, like, and you ain't got no kids. That's a different thing.
Well,
You
I'm
know what I mean?
single and I ain't got no kids.
So that works. Too.
Send
You know what I
me.
mean?
Shout out to it. You said you grew up in Atlanta. You did your MEPS and recruitment process through Atlanta.
I did. Yeah, I did.
How was that?
It was actually all right. My original recruiter wasn't hitting me up and answering me back. And I was like, all right, don't worry about it. I'll find somebody to do it for me. And then so I hit up my I guess his boss. I didn't know who it was. I just hit up somebody. I called somebody and they come to find out it was his senior. And he was like, oh, don't worry. If you don't call you by Tuesday morning, we'll find you another recruiter. And I was like, oh, okay. And they still, I'm 18 years old. I ain't thinking nothing. I was like, okay, cool. Thanks. They said, but like, he called Tuesday morning.
Hey.
Yeah.
And
behind the scenes, he must have already been messing up.
He had to be.
Mm-hmm.
But from there, like, I mean, I had no more issues with him. I had to, my process was a little different because when I was 17, I broke my leg, I broke my hip. Like,
oh shit.
And that you don't hear that from a 17-year-old, you hear that from 67-year-old.
Yeah.
I broke my hip when I was 17, so I had to show a lot of documentation that I was still good to run and do all my stuff. And I also have a lazy eye, so like I had to get a lot of that stuff cleared. And I'm pretty good at controlling it, right? But like I was sleepy the morning we were getting sworn in. I was so sleepy, and I remember at like the last part of the doctor thing, my lazy eye just kind of shifted. He went,
oh no.
He literally looked at me and was like, you need to go home. I was like, bro, I've been here for 8 hours, man. What?
Yeah. That wait like, swearing is long as hell.
And it took me another, that was April. It took me 4 months to get back in there to swearing again. Because it was like July or something like that. Yeah.
I didn't even know you can control it lazy eye. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that shit.
Yeah. Most times, like if you guys see me like at work and you see my lazy eye, like means I'm not focusing. I'm just probably like I'm blanked out. I'm not focusing. Right now, I'm focusing on the camera. I'm looking around, and I'm not. And it's kind of on purpose too. I've learned to like focus on what I'm doing because it helps me control it. Because I ain't gonna catch me slipping. Like,
do you ever use it to get out of something?
It's not like a disability, but
look, I mean, I'm just saying. Look, I mean, like, imagine you having a conversation with somebody you don't want to talk to, and then out of nowhere, you just like, right, and it's like on some get out my face type shit. Like,
I mean, no, because it.
bro be controlling his eye and rolling him. He be rolling the joints on people.
Damn, chameleon ass thing. Like, nah, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of one of those honest person. I'm a little too honest sometimes. I just be like, all right, well, I gotta go do something. So
yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah,
that's weird. No, that's funny as shit. So then, did you choose your AFSC, or was that where you kind of pushed into maintenance?
I kind of quotas. I did. I was pushing to do an open, and I remember after I signed my contract, man, it was like half my job was all just desert. Not that my job. Half my mama's job was like Desert Storm veterans, and they was tearing me up, man. Why would you want to go open? I was like, bro, I'm ready to go. I'm tired of working that Pizza Hut, man. And and knowing what I know now, that oh my gosh, I would tell everybody all day, pick what you want, take the time. It's only a few months you might be waiting a little more, and like them few months can change your entire outlook, your entire career.
Absolutely.
My sister's right now. She's trying to think about joining the Air Force, and I'm on her ass, bro. I'm like, whatever recruiter say, you let me know. And like, I'm fact checking it with somebody we used to work with, and he's a recruiter now. And so every time he says something, I'll text our buddy like, "Yo, is this right?" And he's like, "Yeah," or "No." I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, there's some tricksters,
help her out.
man. They'll try to get over on you real quick if you let
which
them.
is crazy, man. And I think that's what's also hurting our retention numbers, is because people realizing that I did that, I could have did this, you know, all these other things that we could have did. Like looking at my maintenance, like your ASVAB. My maintenance was like a 50.
Yeah.
But then my general was like an 87.
Yeah.
You know, the other stuff was like I had higher. My overall aspect was a 74, but that's because everything but maintenance was pretty high. And then you throw me in maintenance. I'm like, nigga, you obviously don't see I got the aptitude for maintenance, nigga. I know what a wrench is, nigga. That's what your grandma saying to sing. Wrench it off, you know, like.
Yeah. Oh God.
So,
and then the retention is interesting because like it's the perfect setup. Like you said, you was working at Pizza Hut before you joined, right? So low key, you talk about everything that the Air Force come with as far as pay, consistent pay, opportunity to go to school. You talk about the real estate advantages and things like that exist. So then when you look at the whole of what you're getting, for most of us coming from, I know I was working at a restaurant, you was working at Pizza Hut, most of us working jobs where it's like, I'm already going to work and I don't love what I'm doing right now. You mean to tell me I can go do another job that I might not fully love, but it comes with all of this? That's a hell of a trade-off. That first contract go by like, it don't matter, I'm just working. And then that second contract, it's like you just not hitting to the age where you can start thinking about how you really feel about shit, what you really like. But by then, you know, you might have a car note, you might have a wife, you know, telling what you might have got yourself in by the time that second enlistment coming. Now you got a real choice to make, like between the stuff that
you're real.
You know,
that aspect. That's very
it's
real.
tough. It's really tough,
man.
Now you stuck.
Now you stuck.
And right? I mean, and not to like make it too much crazy, but like I'm kind of dealing with that in a way right now because I have some opportunities coming up when I'm applying for. But if I don't get the opportunities, I might have to get out. And I'm like, Devin, can we get out though? You know?
Yeah.
You know? And I am set up in a position to where I can, but also not. Like I would have to make some hard decisions, you know, because this lifestyle with consistency come with consistent pay, come with consistent everything else. So you're not worried about paycheck to paycheck because you could literally just be like, don't worry about it, I get paid in 2 weeks.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Like I ain't gotta think about it. It's gonna be there.
You a civilian, that shit may not come, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
So like, I shouldn't buy this, but I can. It's coming. Like it don't even matter.
I bought my graduation shoes the other day, man. And
go ahead. What you got?
What you pick up?
What shoes you got? You might as well. We like shoes too.
Some Tom Fords.
Ooh, that boy spent the bag.
That boy went stupid on them. Oh my gosh.
How much that was?
I don't know if I like shoes that much. No, it's just like, how much? Ballpark. You ain't got to tell all your business. Ballpark.
About 1,000.
Okay. Thanks.
Ooh.
Ain't that bad, cool. That ain't no bad. Ain't that bad. Look, a couple Louis Vuitton trainers. Ain't that bad.
I'm gonna blame. If my mom ever see this video, I'm blaming her because I'm an enabler. She an enabler. You put them two together, we gonna buy it. She
can't call it. Mom, should I do like these? Yeah.
No, she was with me.
Oh, she was there.
Yeah, because I was looking at some off-whites for $600, you know, and then I was telling her that I wanted to get. I was telling her that eventually when I graduated from medical school, I want to get a Tom Ford suit. Well, let's just go in there and see anyway. So we walk up in there and she showed these shoes, and I was like, "Oh, them things kind of hard. Hold up." And then he said, "I said, how much is it?" He told me that price, and I went,
"Damn." So that's for you bought those for graduation. You said
I did.
You can't really ask the women in your life for stuff like that. I asked my mom or my girl, "Will you work hard enough?"
Well, you work hard enough. You've been saving. That's what mama told me.
You damn right. You damn right.
Like, yeah, right. You be empowered too.
Whole time it'd be the wrong decision.
Wrong decision.
Wrong decision, man.
It's justified.
That's
So as soon as your mama or your wife or somebody of a female like presence tell you something, it's justified automatically. Oh, what? Yeah, stuff you got to
feel
plan.
good. Like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and spend this fucking money that I shouldn't be spending. Like,
Man,
nah, that's what's up. One thing we like to do is take it back to the beginning, all the way back. Basic training. Best memory, worst memory. Mine was wetting the bed, so feel no shame. I couldn't stop. Basic training, I couldn't stop wetting the bed. It's crazy.
Okay. That's like I wonder if it's like stress related.
Probably.
Yeah. I want to be a doctor, so my mind just starts flying off.
Help me, goddammit.
Best memory. So my flight was band flight, and so we got to play a band for like graduations and stuff like that. And I did 2 graduations actually, and because we were all band flight, we all had like a lot of background in music. And I remember one day we were probably all in there singing Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. And I mean the whole flight, like nobody was safe. Like we was in that bitch like singing. And we just, it gets to the bridge when like Queen is kind of singing by himself versus everybody else. And one dude is on top of the like lockers, and he is standing, walking across the lockers, like we're crawling really, and singing like that Queen part. And so we are screaming. All of a sudden you hear, who the hell is singing? Because there's like the part where it's the one person singing that like the high note. And my MTI walks in at the perfect time for the high note. And boy, you would have thought somebody got killed. How fast everybody dropped to the ground, like, oh shit, we fucked. And so come to find out the MTI had been standing at the door the entire time. And the only reason we didn't get in trouble, he said, is because y'all finished the damn song. Man,
I'm still torn. You said bro was walking across the dang lockers, like what?
He was like legit performing, dog, and we was right there. His back, we was in background singer, the Baker Nets, dog. Like we was in that bitch.
Y'all was going crazy.
It was hilarious, but everybody legitimately had like some sort of background, so we knew how to kind of like play along with that, and it was fun. But yeah, that was great. That was cool. Worst memory, man. Probably me. I was the problem. I was probably the worst one in my flight. Legitimately.
Wait, what do you mean with what?
I was the only one trying to fight everybody. I was the only one filled out dorm inspection. I locker inspection. I'm the only one got a U.
So you was an anchor. You was holding everybody back.
And actually, it was crazy because a lot of times I got that stuff trying to look out for everybody else. So, for instance, me getting into a fight. I was getting into a fight. The dorm chief, he was just so like extra vindictive for no reason, and people were always afraid to talk to him. And I was like, and I would call him out. I'd be like, "Hey, bro, why are you talking to you like that? Like, you ain't got no like, chill out. You another grown man with a whole bunch of grown men in his thing." And he was like, "Who do you think you are?" He's like, "You're not gonna be successful in the military if you ever talk back to your to people of your leadership." I looked at this motherfucker and I was like, "With all due respect, nigga, we in the same flight. Fuck out here." And I was like, "Who do you sit there and tell me I'm not gonna be successful?" I said, "If I can be successful, you're never gonna have hair on your head. You bald ass." And then he starts bugging him. I was like, "Bro, I don't give a fuck about this shit." And the way I just came out of like a crazy situation out of before basic, like, bro, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Like, what's up? That's happened multiple times where people were like, one dude didn't have EC duty, and he had EC duty. And I woke him. I was like, "Hey, bro, wake up." And he was like, "No." "Hey, bro, I'm trying to be quiet right now. Wake up." He was like, I'm sick. I literally stood on top of the fucking locker, started banging on the fucking lockers. I was like, if you don't want to fucking get his ass up, everybody getting their ass up. How about that?
That's crazy.
And it was like, bro, who the fuck? They looked at me like, who the fuck is this dude, bro? And I'm like, look, man. At the end of the day, and it pissed me off so much because I'm the one got in trouble for it all the time. But it was like one thing about me, I stand firm on team. If the team ain't working well, the mission ain't getting done. Nothing ain't getting done. Fuck what if it is the mission or not, it ain't getting done. And so I was going to call everybody out all the time, but I was the problem child because of it. And people always had issues with me, but people who knew where I was coming from, it was either loved or hated.
Yeah.
And that brought a lot of issues, man. That brought a lot of issues.
Shit, we had a fight in my basic training too. They sent that dude home. Sent his ass right up out of there.
Yeah.
That was like
The
one
one
of
that
the
happened
things
in mine, he was gone too.
Yeah, it was like a zero tolerance. Nobody put no hands on nobody for real.
Yeah.
They got him right up out of there.
He the first one, Devin the first person that mentioned dorm chiefs. And I feel like, you know, I don't know how to do it without being like full blown messy. But like I remember getting into it with mine too. So I'm curious. I want to know. I wonder where they all at now. Like I wonder where everybody dorm chief is at now. Right.
My dorm
but
chief,
not to be shady though. But like
yeah, my dorm chief, he actually he's doing okay. I think he's a staff sergeant, still fat, still bald. You said you ain't gonna be messy. I'll be a little messy. I don't give a fuck. But he seemed like he's doing all right with his career. I don't see him like not in the military. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I said, you still keep in touch with anybody from basic like that?
Yeah. Mainly my ex-girlfriend. Actually, she was in my sister flight.
Okay.
We met in our sister flight when we were always going together. Huh?
Your girlfriend was in your sister. How you in basic?
No, we met in basic. Like we just became like because we had to like bring some new people to get some of their clothes and stuff. So she had her one girl female trainee, and I had my one guy female trainee, and basically it was me and her the whole time just vibing, like because we sitting around waiting on them to get their shit, so we just sitting there talking, and so we just became cool. And then after basic, like it kind of just sprouted into more.
So y'all making sure y'all got y'all grilled cheeses on Sunday and stuff?
No, it really just talking about life because I found out we had very similar backgrounds of just like how we grew up, and we just became. But we were sitting there legit talking, like, and the first time I saw her out of uniform, after when you graduate from basic, I was like,
it's always like that.
I was like, yeah,
because I ain't gonna lie, they be looking kind of rough. I feel like the females be going through it worse than the men do.
They look like they went to jail, bro. That's what they look like. They're like inmates.
Like they was on chain gang for real, bro.
They're like inmates. Inmate 367.
By the time we get done getting our hair cut backwards for 3 weeks, I think that was the maddest. I was the first time we got them, nigga, because like I got waves now, but back then I used to put a little rag in the microwave and like really lay my shit down. Like in high school, it was stupid.
They torched
First time they cut that shit backwards, I was like fighting mad. Like I really was tearing up and shit. Like this is crazy because you sit down, you don't know what's about to happen.
Right? Yeah. It's funny you say that because for me, my mom is a barber. I grew up in a hair salon. My mom she's been cutting hair all my life, and now I cut hair as well.
Yeah.
I've been cutting hair since I've been in the military. And I remember she took that thing and she went backwards, and I was like, first of all, I was like, hey man, you ain't got to go rough like that. And she was like, she's like, you be quiet. And I was like, ma'am, I know my hair. You ain't got to be that rough on it. And she was like, and my child came and started yelling at me, like, who are you talking to? And I was like, ma'am, training cops reports is ordered. She ain't got to go rough like that. Like, I know my hair.
Bro, I really feel like that's the moment everybody realized, like, what the hell did I just sign up for?
What the fuck did I just got there?
Because
what is this?
They don't give you no warning or nothing. They just right on top.
Like, your shit.
I think I got a picture somewhere of me in basic training getting a haircut.
We need to throw them up there. Yeah, because they just hit your shit. They don't give a fuck. It was the wildest thing. I'm like,
it was crazy.
Nah, this might not be the business for me. I'm literally asking, like, hey, they cut your hair like this for the whole time? Like every station is like this?
Yes.
I was like, this is not my ministry, dog. Like,
Hey, look. As soon as we got to tech school, we were sneaking off the base to get haircuts. Niggas wasn't going
I never, to this day, I have never let them touch my hair. But my mom. I cut my own hair.
I was cutting my own too.
I'm not playing that. Don't touch, because that's why I never. I mean, I only have my mom as my barber, so like I knew a good cut. You know.
Yeah.
So I fucked up my own shit for the first like 6 months trying to learn how to do it, but I'd rather me fuck up my shit than somebody else fuck up my shit.
Straight up. Yeah. No, I couldn't deal with it because I only didn't like having a whole lot of people touching my hair. I think I only had like 4 or 5 barbers my whole life.
Right.
Like. I tried to stay consistent with something.
Definitely.
So then, what was tech school like? Y'all wasn't in tech school together.
No, we weren't. He got some years on me.
Okay,
tech school for me was actually pretty fun because that's where I feel like I got to be my like like the beginning of my true goofy self and just have a good time and work hard. I was the only I got Airman of the Month. I didn't know it was even a thing. I got like a coin and everything for Defender, but like I tried to be a part of everything I wanted to be a part of. I tried to like I had a car, so we was outside like as much as we can. Oh geez. Little old me. But we was outside, man. Like we legit went to all like the clubs that you can for 18 and older, like on base at Shepherd, the little club on base. I don't care. I was out there. And like we started having pool parties at the pool. So we invited all the people over. And so like we legit had a good time, man. And I like I said, I try to be a part of everything. And it was fun. But I had this kind of a crazy situation happen. EO kind of almost got involved with a situation with me because somebody called me I don't like being called a fag. I don't like being called anything of that nature. Because just my childhood and trauma. But I had a dude call me that in tech school. We were sitting in front of class and he said, he was like, man, he's like such a fag. And I kind of got quiet, but then I got real pissed off. And then I started just cutting this dude out, like started going off in the hallway. It's quiet as hell in there. I ain't give a fuck. Because now you just trigger some shit that was like my past. And we get back into class, teacher called it out. I started cussing his ass out because I was like, you should have checked his ass when you heard him the first time. So then they let them go to lunch. I tried to fight a dude. I got pinned to the ground. That didn't happen. Next day, EO got involved because I kind of started moving on because I got used to that in my life. Some shit happened the next day. I just keep moving on. Well, EO got involved, brought it back up. I cussed his ass out. And they actually want to be my first mentor because he was like, oh, you want to go there? Let's go outside and talk about it. And that was the first person to ever like check me back. Like, hey, chill out. And he became the first male mentor in my life who actually gave a fuck about and who cared. And I felt like cared about me. So it was a bad situation, but it kind of turned out to be something cool because I got to tell my story for the first time. I got to tell like my background. I got to tell like why I am the way I am. Like I'm very happy. I'm very cool. But I have a lot of like pent up anger like that nobody knows about.
Right.
So that was cool. That was great. But other than that, man, outside of that one incident, and that kind of brought obviously a little weirdness to the class because this is in front of the whole class. They saw this side of me. But outside of that, man, it was chilling. Like, I found out I wasn't going to overseas. So I went and bought a car and I was good to go.
You was lit. You was lit. How long was y'all tech school? I know mine was like 2.5 months.
I was 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
Ooh. Y'all was down there.
Mine was like 3.
Yeah, I was down there for 6 months. I got there in February, left there in June, and went to left in May, and I went to Little Rock for a month in for like secondary training.
Yeah.
Arkansas. I don't know many people that have been stationed there. One thing I've heard about being stationed there, y'all still get briefed about. I mean, what's about your experiences as a whole? But the one thing I heard, like when I was in the tech school circuit and just meeting a bunch of different people, was that there was a time period, and I don't know, I can't remember who told me this. So I can't think of a time frame at which it was happening. But were y'all getting briefed on like sundown towns and stuff at any point in time about like where to go, where not to go while you were there?
We weren't briefed, but I mean, I think just the nature of where I grew up, I know about them, and you just kind of know like general Arkansas southern air, anything in the south. Stay your ass out or not. Yeah, you kind of know where to avoid. I think we only went to one city that was kind of like sketchy, but that's only because we went cliff jumping,
Okay.
But I wouldn't put myself in that situation.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got your my white friends. Hey, bro, y'all can have a good time, but certain places we gonna be at, we gotta go. It's getting dark, and I'll be getting a little weird stare. So.
The laws is crazy, bro.
It's getting dark.
It's getting dark. Which is sad we have to think like that, but I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So you left Little Rock, and then your first duty station was in Albuquerque at Kirtland, right?
Kirtland. Oh, man. Albuquerque.
You was there for how long?
4.5 years. 4.5 years.
Okay.
4.5 years, man. That was. I will forever love. I call it GTA. I don't call it Albuquerque. I call it GTA. I will forever love GTA.
Short for
Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. The video game.
Damn.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah,
I assumed that, right? But context. Why why GTA? I mean, it's a lot of cities that can be called that.
I can tell you one day in particular. I left my house. I left the house. I stopped at the stop sign. I looked down. It was a heroin needle. I left to go downtown to down Central. It was a guy shooting up heroin on the side of the street. And my boy looked content. Not even gonna lie to you. He looked like he was like, finally, we here.
I took that deep breath.
The same day I got cussed out by a homeless dude, got called a nigger. And because my car got booted. And I was like paying the dude, and he was like, and the homeless dude came to me, he was like, hey man, you got money for me? And I was like, no, you got money for me? I need like $80 right now for this boot. And he was like, what? Fuck you, fucking nigger. And I was like, and I looked at him and I was like, and I'm goofy. I'm too goofy. I don't like fighting, so I'm goofy. I'm like, you're right.
I ain't fighting no homeless man.
That's crazy.
I said, but I ain't a homeless nigga. I ain't a cold. I'm not on the streets right now. You on Central.
Oh Lord.
I'm my ass in my heated car to my heated house. What the fuck you finna be at? Oh, okay, I thought so.
Damn, this made him feel bad.
Hit him with a whole freestyle. Get up out of there.
And
I ain't fighting no homeless dude. No crackhead. Nothing.
They will win.
They got
nothing
to
lose.
Definitely not no crackhead.
But it was one of the things where it's like, that happened so much, man. Albuquerque is a crazy, like outside the base, man. At night when I go running on base, you hear them shooting every night. Every night they shoot.
Bro, what?
Yeah. Every night they shoot. The governor of New Mexico had to actually reached out to the governor of Louisiana because they have similar crimes. And New Orleans specifically, they actually started doing I started seeing horses. Like I can see in New Orleans on Bourbon Street, you started seeing them out, and I'm like, where are these horses coming from? And I legit found out it's because we have a similar crime pattern from New Orleans to they do in Albuquerque. So they had to start like finding other ways to make things change. I thought the crime though, man, me and my friends had a good time. We tried to make New Mexico and that general Southwest area ours. And that's why we started snowboarding. We would go skating. I would go skating every weekend. I love roller skating. I worked hard. I truly believe in working hard. Like my first commander told me, this black dude, man. I think that was cool to see. My black man. He wasn't a black man. That was my first shirt was and truly seeing that, man. They ran it like you want for the step. No, you want to act up? How about everybody just come on Saturday morning? We'll just come sit here because y'all want to act. Y'all want to act crazy? Don't worry, I got time. What?
Straight up.
I feel like that's how we would do it too.
Absolutely. But
we have fun with it.
We had so much fun with it, right? But at the same time, he'll show up to our Christmas party in a Rick James costume and not give a fuck.
That's crazy.
Oh, he was crazy, But his advice to me was never give them a reason to tell you no. And I probably took it a little bit too much to heart, but I took it to heart, and I still stand on that. I work that way every day to this day. Never give them a reason to tell you no. If they tell you no, he said figure out why. If they can't tell you why, and if it's something based off your race and your skin color, then you didn't want the job.
Yeah. It's important to be able to find people like that in your career. I'll always give a lot of praise to Tech Sergeant Jack. Not at the commander level. When I first got there, she was in charge of our shop, and she ran that shit the same way. And as hard as she was, it was something familiar about her style and her approach.
Right.
And stuff like that. It just helps to remind you that at every level, there's room for you to exist and kind of be yourself. And be funny and be witty, but still take control of a room. Like, nobody played with her in that whole building. As witty and clever and obnoxious as she was, she gained a lot of respect. And it sounded like your commander was the same way. So as few of us as there are at times, it's important to cross paths with those people.
Yeah. It's kind of sad you don't see that at all anymore. You don't really see like not anymore, just in general. You don't the amount of representation that we need, because we still need it, right? They act like a lot of people act like, oh no, it's all good, like they're not racist. Okay, yeah, they're not racist, and these leadership may not be that bad, but it's not us.
Sure. Yeah, it's not us. It's not how we talk, how we exist. I think even figuring out that rhythm outside of work and like having a community that you can really be a part of. Sometimes we don't have the same hobbies, same interests. So like, yeah, coming to work is cool, but my existence outside of work is kind of mundane if I'm not like at my hometown or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bigger picture for sure.
Mm.
That kind of gets missed. I mean, I know to stay the fuck away from Albuquerque. I wasn't going before. I'm not going now.
Yeah. It was a beautiful city, man. Like the mountain was beautiful. The mountain was beautiful. I mean, and having that in the background, like anywhere in the city, you see the mountain in the background. That was gorgeous. You know.
Yeah.
Sunsets. They're the best sunsets in this entire country. I'm sorry, ain't nobody touching it. Because you got the mountain faced the sun at night, and so the mountain turned orange, like an orange color. And then if it's like cloudy, then the clouds be like pink and orange and purple. And man, it was absolutely gorgeous. And this was every day. It's every day.
Wow.
So that
you can see it from the flight line.
Oh yeah, the flight line is direct. Like the flight line is right next to the mountain, essentially. But like anywhere in the city, you will see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Caleb had orders there.
At one point, yeah.
At one point, yeah. Henry was like, "I'm not going to Albuquerque to visit." I'm like, "Bro, you gotta go see him, bro. He first time back in the States.
I go see you in Texas, bro. I ain't going there. Gotta listen."
But at the same time, like if it was snowboarding season, I would say go, because like there's mountains that are like 2 hours away from Albuquerque that were free for military.
Yeah.
So
you just said something with that. That's something that I take into strong consideration.
You know.
And then what was work like? Early beginnings of just work, upgrade training.
Truly, it was pretty easy. I came in kind of thinking I was a hot shot, and I got that knocked down pretty fast, which is I needed that, right?
Yeah, you need that always.
And it actually, one of the guys who called me out wanted to be one of my best friends, man, because he said, "Who do you think you are, dude? Like, you brand new. We don't even barely know your name." And I'm a goofy. I'm like, "Bro, you can read it right here. Like, it's that simple." He was like, but at the same time, like, looking back on it, he was like, "I'm glad your energy never changed." He's like, that's the one thing I always thought about. My mom always says, like, if you can change your room, change your room, and for the positive at least. And so I went to work every day, bro. I had fun. I'm gonna dance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna joke around. I'm gonna laugh. But if somebody come to me and say like, "Hey, bro, why you dancing?" My job been done for like 2 hours now. I'm waiting on y'all to tell me the next thing to do. So, and that was my approach. Was just like, let's have fun. Let's get this shit done and have fun, because this shit hot. It's hot as fuck outside, so we got to do something to have fun. And so it was actually pretty solid. Most of my career, we had some hiccups. I put a hole in the plane once. That was crazy.
You what? Jack?
Our faces killed me.
It was a Jack.
No, we had pushed a snap-on box in them expensive boxes. We pushed one behind the plane, behind the ramp, and because it was windy and it was pushing the toolbox around, and one of the guys had operated the ramp and opened the ramp, and we forgot that the right there, and I was the one who stood around and cleared it. But I was like, "Oh, he's good." I was like, "Oh, he's good." Yes, I had too, right?
I didn't know it had that feature.
I've never seen that before. Yeah,
I think that's because I'm using my iPhone. That's why I think.
Where?
Possibly, yeah.
But because I cleared it, he lowered the ramp, and when he lowered the ramp, you heard was, I was like, and you feel the plane lifting, and I was like, why did the plane lift? And so we closed the ramp back. I moved it out the way, and I sat there. Peter Griffin, when he was like, that was me on the ground. I was like, "Oh, my career is done. I'm done."
Bro, that's exactly what I was about to say.
We only got lucky. We got lucky because we didn't hit any actual components. We only hit skin.
Yeah.
That was
making my job harder, but sure.
Right. But yeah, man. So like that was crazy. I found out that one of my master sergeants, who was one of my first pro soups and then became our commandant, does porn. that's crazy. Like you hear some weird shit that happens over your years, right? And like, but as far as the experience of just working and having a good time, like, you know, you go through your troubles, you go through people trying to understand you, trying to, you know, get in people getting in your way, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, like I said, you have your work ethic, you know, everything else is just subliminary.
So we talk about that on that show. When this show, I think it comes up every episode. That is such a underlying
like
and
theme.
hopefully, and foundational element of like everything that this life can offer you out. It's the one thing someone can't take from you as long as your work ethic is intact. It should help or play a large part in how long your leash is when it comes to certain things happening and how you're able to navigate, whether people trust you, want to stand up for you, whether you're worth somebody standing up for. I think your work ethic can be a huge determining factor that you can control at all times to kind of hedge bets and hopefully be able to ensure things come out in your favor, or that you always have favor. I think is the goal. So I'm glad you touch on it, because some people try to make shit happen without it, and I don't think it's, you know, even faith without work is dead. So
hey, I have a tattoo in Arabic that says that faith without works is dead.
For real, yeah. It's so important. I mean, we could have a whole other conversation about like the church and everything. Like, it's just such a wild, you know.
It
is.
I think another thing we don't really touch on or haven't touched on this show is the overcoming that fear of like fucking up when you at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you're doing maintenance on a plane. I don't think it gets talked about enough, right? Because it's a real thing. Like, when you out there, you performing maintenance or moving large components on a plane, you got to be real careful. And like, a lot of people don't even want to do the shit because they fear that they might fuck it up or they might put a hole in the plane.
Like, we work with somebody like that who has a good work ethic, but I think they're so afraid of putting themselves out there that it holds them back. And and I mean, I feel like we all run into it, right? I still have those moments, right? Like, I think for me, when it's something new, I'm like, okay, let me ask 1,705 questions, you know, before I start moving. But once I feel confident enough to get it done, it's over, you know.
Yeah. After that, you straight, but it's still something that you feel me, you gotta overcome.
And I feel like
a lot of people deal with that.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, 100%. I know. Obviously, big, huge purpose of this platform, at least what we would like for it to be. And then I think in the past few days, Coop and I have been doing a whole lot more research on just like what the market looks like and how much competition do we or do we not have as far as what it is that we're hoping to accomplish. But the goal is to share the narratives and experiences of people who wear the uniform that don't look like the people that are on the posters. And it's not just standard understanding of what it means to be a part of this. And it's not cookie cutter. And because there is a difference. You happen to come across a Black commander. My first shot was damn near exclusively Black when I first got there. So I think, and then being able to find Coop and just being able to find community is important as far as insulating yourself from a lot of shit that people go through. But there's a lot to being in this business. It's still a predominantly white, male-driven industry, and the standards, though they've changed a lot in the past 2 to 3 years, even the rules don't reflect the reality of what's happening on the ground level still, right? It takes time for stuff like that to flesh out. And that was something that we was running into even in a tech school, like you mentioned, having to deal with somebody using a slur and an offensive term aimed at you. We dealt with that. Not as much maybe on the peer level, especially in the classroom setting. It seemed as if people at least faked it till they make it and was able to understand each other a lot better. But we had an instructor that we had to get fired straight up, right? Because he would say offensive things to people who walked and carried maybe a different sexual orientation than him, or definitely the females. I worked at a Navy tech school, and this guy was prior Navy. And so his inappropriateness as it related to his candor and the way that he expressed himself was unbelievable. And it got to a point where like different students would come to like myself and Noble and be like, hey, I don't want to be in his class. They would be hanging out in our class. It's like, damn, bro, don't you got something else to do? Why are you sitting here? But they trying to escape that. They don't want to be around him. So it got to the point where we went to our supervisor, went to the flight chief, like, hey, we can't have this. Like, y'all know this
Mhm.
dude is like this. We need him to go so that it can continue to aid and help to allow for these people to come to work and feel comfortable, feel safe, because that's what they should be promised within their 8 hours of duty time. And so obviously the logistics go the way they go in the military. It took a minute to put together the paper trail necessary to get him out of there. And I guess they ended up forcing him to retire. So he still didn't go out the way I wanted him to go out. Right. He still got a chance to kind of get some cushion. I wanted his ass to get the boot.
Get the boot.
Just because of the things that he was going through. And so Alicia was here talking about some of the things that she went through. Really pretty girl, got locks that'll make our ancestors proud, and still was sexually harassed, still had to deal with weird commentary at work, still had to deal with a lot of pressure that existed. And then so with you walking your walk, what has that been like? Like, even outside of that comment and then just going forward, what has that been like as it comes to being embraced, being supported, being showcased as an individual, as an airman, apart from that?
Truly, I've had probably, I call it like one situation per base, and I feel like I haven't really had that many situations that were too detrimental. I think a lot of times I nip things in the bud pretty fast, and
that's apparent.
I genuinely don't like drama,
right?
And so I think I never let it affect me in that way. So if there was an issue with somebody, either you're gonna tell me or you're gonna shut up. It's just that simple. Because that's like this the same way I always preach to everybody. I mean, even Walter being one of my best friends, and other people like that, I preach to everybody. If you have an issue with me, please tell me. So we can either figure this out together or we can go from there. Right. So I am a bisexual male. I've been probably out since 2019, but like even when I did come out, like a lot of times, most people didn't care. They were like, all right, fine. Right. But that's also a side of my life I didn't bring around people because of that. So a lot of people didn't know how to approach it. And I was like, y'all, I'm the same guy I was yesterday. I promise I ain't changed. You're just about to be let into a little bit more of my life if I allow you to be let into a little bit more of my life. Right. And most of my friends was like, all right, cool, like whatever. And I was like, all right. And that was it. Right. And we no questions about it. I think that helped because my childhood was not the same. It was literally completely opposite. So I think that actually gave me a lot more of a reassurance that over time, this world is changing a little bit, one day at a time. Because people don't talk about that either. We always talk about the sad things, but people also don't talk about like we are changing. It's slow. Damn, it's slow, but but it is changing. It is becoming more progressive, as most people would say. But we allow ourselves to, like for me, if you don't like it, bro, you ain't got to be around me. And I'm kind of that simple. Like I don't, now you ain't gonna come talk to me in any type of way about it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I genuinely probably have had one situation in active Air Force, not training, which was weird because she was a lesbian herself, and she tried to call me out of my name, and I was just like, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna tell y'all what I said to her because that would get me in trouble. But it threw me off because I was like, you of all people should understand what I'm going through. Right. But I mean, honestly, I haven't really had that many. I think because I was kind of, I was involved in everything. I hate talking about myself, but I was the Airmen's Council president. I was like one of the lead trainers in Honor Guard. Like you named a space, I was involved in that space in type of way. So I didn't really get out, and I loved people. So like most people didn't really have issues with me because they knew like I tried my best to come with a good heart. So and so they did have issues with me and never got told to me. And that's good on me, I guess. I don't care, I have still been reserved in ways. So like if I hear somebody say something like, oh, you're acting different than normal, or you're acting like a little more flamboyant, I've been told before, like a little like than normal, it kind of shuts me up for a while because I think that's just me being insecure in a way, like insecurity coming back out of like, okay, what did I do to make that person think that? And And I think I've even done it like at work with like Walton, and like I had days when I was just super quiet, and they're like, "What the hell is wrong with you, bro?" You know, and I don't feel like I'm super like flamboyant or like super like but like but at the same time, I am who I am, right? But yeah, I mean, genuinely feel like I've never really, even my first girlfriend, like the one I was talking about earlier from Basic, like I told her, I was like, hey, I plan on marrying, at the time, I was like, I plan on marrying you one day. So I need you to know me. And she was like, all right, well, you with me now. And I was like, that's sexy.
Yeah.
Period.
And I me and her still talk. I literally texted her yesterday because I did something and I sent her a picture of it. And like, I think that's why I'm so stuck to her still. Like, even though we're not dating, that's still my girl. Like, that's still my homie. That's still somebody I really love and cherish because she was one of the first people to really say, like, fuck it.
Right.
So I think I've had a better experience than some. And I know a lot of people who haven't had a good experience, So I'm blessed in that regard,
Do you feel like you talked about being reserved? I got a homegirl in the military as well, and as a Black woman, she talks about feeling the necessity to code switch, right? Like, and feeling as if there's times where she has to assimilate. And naturally, I think the difference between everybody's walk of life is apparent, right? And there's certain things, because like me, my attitude is like I'm not code switching for shit. I play my music, I talk how I talk, I dress how I dress. I'm not here to be friends with anybody. I'm grateful for every connection that I can make, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to get paid. And so what comes, it does or it doesn't. So then when you talk about being reserved, is that something that, if you code switch at all, is that something that stems more from experiences prior to the military? Because it sounds like since you've been in, outside of a couple of instances, you feel as if you've been more accepted or more neutrally allowed to exist. So then your pressure to stay reserved, is that more from experiences beyond the uniform?
Actually, I think it's more from the uniform. Because I'm outgoing, because I'm very goofy and witty in nature, I think it brought a lot of like issues with being called unprofessional. And and I mean, that's been like my last unit, I got called that, and which was crazy because I'm about to be very messy right now, which is crazy because the people who called me unprofessional, I told them in that moment, I said, you stand here looking like a substitute teacher all day with your hands behind your back, not doing no work all day. And the other girl looked at her and I said, you stand here can't fit in your fucking uniform, but you call me a professional? All right. I said, but what people always mix my unprofessionalism with is me having fun and me not being afraid to say, like, airman, we honestly ain't that much different in age. I'm a sergeant and you were airman, but we can still have fun. We can still joke around. We can still get the mission done while having a good time. And when I got to this unit, they're working now, it's kind of the same way. I feel like there's part of me that's not as goofy as I used to be. Like, I used to be on top of wings dancing. Like, I used to be goofy. But typically, I'm acting like that, my job is done, right?
Yeah.
Like, I never would do that in the middle of work. And so this unit is a little more cutthroat in that regard. So yeah, I've had to, like, over the years, and I mean, Walter can attest to this, I've gotten quieter over the years. I don't talk as much at work. Kind of just behind. I'm slowly becoming behind the scenes because I wanted to be the scene, and which is a lesson on me too. Like, you ain't got to be in front of everybody, but like, people weren't taking me seriously, and like, you understand those moments when you have to be Sergeant Cobbs, right? Like, you got to be in front of a mic. That's obvious. You speak with some sort of eloquence, and you speak with some sort of vernacular. But when we're just working and I want to have fun, like, what's the issue?
You feel like that might have like prevented you from some opportunities sometimes, just you being yourself?
Absolutely.
Like, not even at this unit, but other units as well?
Last unit, not as much. My last unit, they allowed me to be a little bit more myself, mainly because I had an agreement with the commander all the way down. I was like, look, I'm gonna give you what you want. I'm gonna get my job done. You give me a program, I'm gonna run it. You give me something, I'm gonna get it done. I said, all I ask is y'all let me do me. Let me go to school. Let me do I ran ROTC programs. Let me run the ROTC program with a high school. Let me go do my gymnastics. Let me do everything I want to do. When it's time for me to be at work, I'm at work. And this unit, man, Yeah, this unit is the total opposite. Where it was like, they hear the things I want to do and they think I'm not loyal to the unit.
Man,
like
that's the worst.
Yeah.
And it's that's not the case, and that's something that I've been trying to fight for. I can't tell you how long, man. Like I've even asked them, like, hey, have I ever missed work because of my obligations? And they were like, well, no.
Yeah.
But that should tell you something right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been this. I will say this current unit has definitely changed how I perceive the Air Force. And you made a good point. That first enlistment is a little less cared about. Like it's kind of like, all right,
it fly by the wind, bro.
It do. You kind of look back at it like, all right, man, like I'm here to get paid. I'm about to be a veteran. I can get out if I want to afterwards. But then you do that second enlistment, man. And I do believe that if you do something twice, God knows the second time I ain't gonna help you out as much. You can be like, all right, well, your turn.
The second time is definitely where you got to put your boots to the ground and like start figuring out what it is that you want,
And that's kind of where I'm at now with like, all right, Devin, you know what? That's going to be the biggest thing is Devin, do what you want to do. And it's been hard because the things that I've wanted to do within this unit hasn't been happening. And it is kind of pushed down my confidence a little bit. But at the same time, like there are other things still happening in the same time, right? I'm still doing photography, I'm still cutting hair, I'm still investing, I'm still going to school. And I'm telling myself this as we speak, like to say like, Devin, it's okay,
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
I will say the shortcomings that you may have experienced here at this unit, and we've talked about this before too. Like, just it sucks because you just being yourself and people treating you a certain way. That shit ain't fair. And I try to bring light into the other things that you have going on in terms of like school, real estate, all these things. A lot of them they ain't even got that. You know what I mean? But they in the position of power to make certain influential moves within the unit. But like when you talk about all the shit that you got going on outside of that in your personal life, school, like I said, real estate, he's shitting on them, completely shitting on them. You know what I mean? Like all aspects, work ethic, all of it. You know what I mean? And that's one of those things I like to always bring up to you, because although I see this bullshit, at the same time I see the brighter side of the story. Like when you get done with what you're doing, bro, you know what I mean? Like, come on. They not even gonna be
shit. No.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So that's just a testament to you, doing what you're supposed to do regardless and not letting them hold you back. Because that the little shit that you can't get here at this unit is minute to the bigger picture for Devin Cobbs, you know what I mean? And that's like one of the things I just try to reiterate in times when you feeling down, or I see you not talking, and we pull up, go to the side and have a conversation, and for sure.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
for sure. No, we talk about it all the time. You talk about it came up with. I mean, we had. I think as a collective whole, like in our other friend group, we was talking about it as it relates to Angel Reese and your Richard Shermans and go all the way back Dion, and you talking about this world is written and designed and the rules exist for cookie cutter people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Come to work, dress the same, talk the same, do the same, be the same. It's not, the military, I think, obviously exists in that more than most places, but all places feel as if that's safer. If I can get all of these people to come in and assimilate and be the same and do the same,
right?
Nobody really wants to do that, right? And there are people, I'd say guys chosen, that shine brighter and carry themselves differently and are more outspoken, more expressive, probably more in tune with themselves every year that passes, and can't help but show that. It's entirely unfair how those people get treated and can be mishandled at times, because you're running up across other people who are comfortable with their cookie cutter existence. So like, they don't know what the fuck would do with you except to label you as far apart from them as you as from where they are, right? And so it sucks. It's entirely unfair. But the biggest thing that I always say, like, even if I knew Angel Reese, I'd tell her, like, carry your cross for all the ones that's going through it like you, because it's the burden of the chosen, right? Like I think it's incredible that you know, somebody like Dion, like this nigga, I mean, bro was making rap videos at Florida State. You already know his coaches wasn't going for that.
Right.
You see them pictures of him pulling up to practice, 10, 15, 20 gold chains, you know, jumping out of a two-door car. You know, his coaches wasn't going for that. And so, but one thing that he did that you do is you damn good at your job. And Dion, one of the best to ever do it. And so I think it's just the beauty. It's painful, but I mean,
it pushes the
pretty
envelope
girls
for
have
change.
hard lives. Like that's just what it's the duality of that existence. So yeah, keep carrying your cross for all those that can, for everybody that's like you, because it's a pleasure on this earth to be different. It's a pleasure to be unique. And then you don't even use it just for yourself. You told at least 3-4 different stories of times that you stood up for other people. Yeah, cookie cutter don't always get you that. And I've always hated the military too for hate's a strong word. I've always disliked. I remember that little book we used to carry in basic training with Hap Arnold and all them. All of them niggas was rule breakers. Right. Every single last one of them was rule breakers.
Absolutely.
Rebels. Didn't do what they were
told.
Tell
you the story in the damn thing.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That are meant to inspire, and then every other person that you meet like that, you try to take their legs out from under them. I've never understood that at all, and it's the one thing I guess I appreciate about sports, because people, and I don't think sports and athletes should be the only people allowed to exist in this world more of themselves than other people as it relates to tattoos or how they dress or hair color or whatever. Like more people, and it's not to say that some of them don't still struggle, but they get to struggle at least a little bit more closer to who they are. But I just don't think it's fair that everybody else can't go through that, because all of the heroes, all the halls and the defects are named after
rebellious ass niggas.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're named after rule breakers, genuinely, and that's where the trends come from. So it's just an interesting infrastructure. Like look up to these niggas, praise these niggas. Don't be like them, at least not too much.
Right.
I was confused. Yeah, whole time I was studying that. And then you talk about, and then we have trainings that exist that are meant to eliminate what it's like to have toxic culture, and it's supposed to address microaggressions. Do you feel like the trainings as they exist are more so just calling out the fact that we have a problem and not necessarily addressing it? Or you have said that things are progressing, people are getting better. You think it's doing its job? Is it 50-50?
Man, I'm gonna put it like this. I think that we have the trainings because it's all legitimate things that we have to work on, and people are, and the right things are being addressed, but we're still human.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't necessarily know how much of a change we can really impose. We can talk about, like we talk about, like was the red dot, green dot, whatever it is, like it's like sexual assault awareness programs, all these different things, and we have all these different avenues, or suicide prevention, or inclusiveness, diversity, all these different trainings we have every year, but yet we still have the issues. And so I don't think, and the things they're talking about in the PowerPoints and the slides are real things, how to do these things. And hell, even on like a non-battle related type thing, CPR classes, motherfuckers are taking CPR classes but still not save somebody's life. I bet some shit went down.
Yeah.
It's
so like how much are we learning?
Yeah, it's how much we learn, and it's human nature. Do you even want to learn? Or
you're just checking the box, doing it because it's being told.
I think another way to look at it too is in terms of like both ends of the spectrum, right? You on one side you got somebody who's suffering and going through something, but also like raising awareness. And then on the other end is like the outcome, like things got better or are starting to get better. In the middle is that person, as well as all the trainings and everything else that we're trying to do to better and get to the other side of that spectrum.
Right.
And it sucks for the person who's having to deal with it. Here he mentioned the chosen ones like Dion. You could even say like Chad Johnson. Some of these other guys, like where things like celebrations in the end zone, shit like that, we couldn't do or couldn't be done anymore or wasn't allowed. But now it's starting to, loosen up a little bit. And sometimes those chosen people just got to bear the burden and get through it. But in the end, like the overall outcome for everybody is good. So,
for sure. And that's why when I come across people that's like that, I'm just like, man, keep going, because it isn't fair and it sucks, and you probably cry to yourself at night, and your close family and friends know a whole lot more about the weight of every single day, but I don't think the NFL would be fun without Chad Johnson. And Chad Johnson didn't know that he was put on his earth to do that. And you look at Chad Johnson now, that nigga's still coloring
Chad
outside
Johnson.
the lines.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of it. And so it is a lot of work to be done, because Caleb and I had put together like a diversity inclusion training that was completely off. It was not like a military driven initiative. Like it was a lot of fight and a lot of cooperation too with some of our immediate leadership as far as like captains and stuff like that to help push the envelope. But what we ended up with, on military installations, we were showing slides of like people hanging from trees, nothing blurred, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just having an opportunity to have real conversation. And the interesting part too, and where you take the blame away, is like, I know for me, it's 1 versus probably 12 at most in those classrooms. I'm from South Florida. My graduating class was like, I don't know, over 2,000 kids. I done met a lot of people, and I enjoy being around a lot of different people. You know what I'm saying? And then like I'm talking to these other people, and they're from places like Arkansas, and they're from places like Missouri, backwoods type shit. Their graduating class might have been 10 kids, and it's been them same 10 kids since they was in kindergarten.
Middle school or elementary school.
Yeah, exactly. And so then outside of that, they whole community, like I live in Atlanta now. So like y'all in DC, you talk about community. We're not talking about nothing small. We talking about big ass city. Right. Community for them is like
the 10
kids that they in school with, they parents.
Yeah.
That's the community. Yeah. Cause Earl, you know what I'm saying, he at the gas station and Billy run the corner store, and like they're not getting any exposure, right? And then the only thing that comes into their city or into their orbit that's different than what's immediately around them is the news. Because like people like you and I ain't going there.
Mm-hmm.
Coop not finna get in his truck and be like, man, I can't wait to go to Missouri and like walk around and like show these people what I'm like. Like some of these rural ass areas, nobody's coming at. The only thing that's traveling to them is the news. And then from that, we talking about the programming of people's minds and the ways they're being influenced to see things that's not even at their fault. So after we got done, we got kids and we talked about Black, we talked about gay, lesbian, we talked about so many different things as it relates to embracing each other. And we've got people that like, one was like, dog, you the first Black person I ever had to listen to. Like I had a student tell me that. You're the first Black person I've ever had to listen to in my entire life.
Right. And
you had others say like, yeah, there's no gay people in my hometown, at least as far as they know, right? Small little Christian city, there's 23 of us, like 23 of us total. And they still getting married at 17, right?
Yeah.
And so there's value in it as far as, I guess continuing to pursue the training, but the onus is on the people. You said that, Laisha said the same thing too. It's really a people thing as far as like, as the trainings and everything becomes more common, people just have to take it on themselves to practice it, treat people as they want to be treated. That's the golden rule. I think listen and understand where people are coming from. Because it's not as hard as we make it.
Right. And it's even funny because you say like, you talk about community and like, so you're in Atlanta. So me growing up in Atlanta and then like living here, like even that's two different communities, So the business, this here is a business-minded community. And if you ain't a part of that business, you kind of get shunned. Atlanta's a very free. Atlanta's a different animal. It's a free spirit. That's a whole other tangent. But
for real,
good Lord,
man, what?
Atlanta. If New York and DC had a baby, it was Atlanta.
Oh God, you got to really be ready to be a part of the zoo and roar around here.
Really, as soon as you step on in between 20, 35, and 85, bro, you better be ready for whatever about to come your way.
For sure.
Facts.
For sure.
Facts.
And so like, and that's another thing I think that brings a lot of my outgoingness is like, you see people who, like you said, come from small towns. I had a dude, my basic training flight, tell me that, before he met us, he was afraid of us. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I only knew y'all based off of what I saw on TV. And I saw, he saw, the shows that, and it's crazy how we were portrayed in TV shows as well. Like, we're always portrayed as like the sus people, right? Like it's always bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I only knew that. He said, I only saw the news. And I said, so, okay, what are your thoughts? And he was like, well, I mean, y'all cool. Like, and so at that point, I literally brought everybody into the day room. I was like, okay, we about to shut all this shit out right now. I brought everybody to the day room. And I was like, all right, we don't know each other. If you got some questions about whatever kind of stereotype you got questions about, we're gonna do the same. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Motherfuckers is asking us like, hey, do y'all really like fried chicken and watermelon? I was like, well, if it's in season, watermelon's for sure. Fried chicken year round, but you can't eat it all the time because that shit gonna be bad for your arteries about 20 years. You know, we was legit answering questions. We asked them like
that's the truth. Yeah,
like y'all niggas get, y'all niggas get married at 17 years old to y'all distant cousin. And it was like, well, that's the nowhere ass. It was like, we ain't that bad, but we might get married at 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
How was the outcome after that conversation?
And bro, our flight was
that's what I'm saying.
Like, even though we still fought and had issues, and like we weren't perfect, obviously, as a family, right? All families is dysfunctional in a way. But we legitimately, like, man, we saw each other after like we saw each other in Beast Week, and we were hugging each other like, like, because we get split in Beast Week, and like we saw each other in Beast Week, we were like my boy, what up, and so like man, that's like the power of communication, the power of people willing to change, because that was on me to change too, because I had preconceived notions about white people, in that setting, so being humble, all of it, but
that's the whole point of what we're doing right now.
100%, because somebody's gonna hear this and have to think differently about how it is that they engage with the people that's closest to them, and that's the point, because some things just don't click, unfortunately, until they hit home. And again, if you're not somebody who's allowing yourself to meet and engage and become attached and care for people that are different from you, you're not really ever putting yourself in a position to unlock really empathy.
Right.
I think everybody has capacity to be empathetic, on a spectrum. Right. And I think that the more you engage and interact with people who have struggles different from yours, the better you'll be at being able to do that. What would your challenge be to your coworkers to better be able to do that, or to people in general, if we go off the coworker topic?
Just talk and listen and hear it, comprehend it. Not just listen to listen, you know what I'm saying? Like, on a goofy kind of shit, like whenever they at work talking about like, doing like they talk about hunting all the time. And that is not my ministry, dog. That is not my ministry at all. However, I ask questions because I genuinely want to know, what makes y'all happy. Because during hunting season, the white folks at work be happy as hell. Boy, everybody, they be, boy, I got a new bow and my AR. Like, I don't know shit, bro. I don't know shit about shit.
Bro, they be going in.
Bro, they be at work talking like, bro, they talk like how niggas talk about sports. Like, it just be, it's they are so happy. And so I always say, like, don't be afraid to ask a question. Like, I always my common question I ask everybody at work is like, how many pair of shoes you own? And the answer between us and them is crazy. They'd be like, 3 pair of shoes, one for work, one for play, one for dressing up. And I'm like,
I look at my closet like, bro, I got a problem.
I got a nigga, what?
I have a problem.
But like,
that shit be funny as hell.
That's a conversation at work we have, and like, or even when we at work one day watching African basketball, like, and I tried to like tell them at work because they were uncomfortable a little bit because we was laughing. Me and some boy, we was in that, we were dying because it is. You ever get a chance, just YouTube African basketball.
I ain't never seen it, but I'm gonna do it. It's got to be hilarious.
You gotta watch Sudan, because first of all, why they lighting they got the lighting dark as hell in that bitch, so you can't see the players, and we didn't know the team was sitting on the side.
Wow.
And they stood up, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, and so like, they're playing, and I'm like, shoot the ball. Hey, brother, don't forget to bounce the ball, and you have to shoot it. And so like, we having a good time, but like they were uncomfortable because I think they saw it was like slightly race based, but it wasn't like, I was like, y'all, like, it's okay, like we can, as long as I ain't saying nothing inappropriate, like we can joke about these things. I said, we watch y'all hunting, shoot him. We watch y'all, and it's the same thing. I said we are allowed to be able to have playful banter with other people and learn about people's ideas, cultures, and what things they do, but be tasteful and be understanding where you're coming from. So I would say that's the biggest thing. It's just ask people, man, like, not necessarily about them, but just try to learn something. If not every day, obviously, but just learn something about somebody else and put yourself out there to be uncomfortable. I asked him, I said, I wouldn't mind going hunting with y'all. I said, look, I'm just letting y'all know right now, my gun gonna be right here the whole time. On the chest. I said, I want to try it though, because everybody keeps saying how peaceful it is. And I was like, I wouldn't mind experiencing that peace.
I'm gonna find somebody that look like me and go with them. Cause
you could, exactly. I had a couple.
We don't know what we do it.
Well, you go with him while he with them, and then that's where the expertise is at. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't out there without an ally. You dig what I'm saying?
There's a couple guys who got at work that I'm like, all right, I can trust y'all a little bit enough to go with y'all.
Yeah.
Walter, you bring your ass with me.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna be in that bitch like Matrix if we need to. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna bring my shit too. Fuck it.
And they was like, well, what are you afraid of? I was like, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! I was like, I'm not playing with these niggas in this damn woods.
Right.
That.
Yeah. No, 100%. I had some people that you get to talking about life. Like I had students watching Serena Williams and shit. I'm like, listen, I don't know what y'all do, but this is the type of shit that I like to do. And yeah, Siren Paul, we're gonna take you alligator hunting. I think you need that in your life. And I'm like, out in the swamp, like out there all day. I'm like, nah,
absolutely not.
Good on it.
I'm good on all that, night, brother.
I'm a city life kind of guy. There's a lot to people to learn, and I was digging through obviously your Instagram, trying to figure out what topics do we want to bring up. As we kind of get closer to wrapping this up. It's two things that are apparent. Fashion is strong for you, and then photography too. And so with fashion in mind, what are some of the themes and ideas that you explore when it comes to obviously just getting dressed? As simple as that, right? We obviously more shoes than our counterparts, but beyond that, what are you thinking about? What ideas are you looking to execute?
Honestly, right now I'm kind of just in the place of like understanding palettes. So like, what colors go with what, and not necessarily like, okay, everybody know black go with black, and but how to, if I'm wearing, like every day I go to the closet. Even today I'm going to church here soon, and in my mind I was already thinking like, all right, well, if I wear these khaki pants, like khaki pants is, you can wear anything with it, but how can I make it? How can I make it a palette? How can I make this go with that, and this go with that, this go with that? Common right now working on my that's a little on me. I mean, I'll give you a common example. So for each one of those outfits, I can tell you what I was thinking. So the outfit on the left with my suit, that is, I like high-waisted because it kind of extenuates how like how long I am, because I feel like I look shorter on pictures. But the jacket, man, I know that like that those are like fall-ish kind of colors. And I was like, well, I can play off of green and browns because that's like a fall kind of color. Well, I needed to bring out the color because it was kind of very flat. So I have a red and blue bow tie on, and then my socks are green and blue as well, not green and blue, golden blue. So just kind of like bring out the blue of some sort of like, because green and blue go together, but also green and blue go together, but also red and blue go together. All the different colors go together. So how can I make like, in this family of colors, how can I bring out the colors while still making it match? The one in the middle, that's a pretty standard outfit, white, red, and blue, but my statement pieces were the oranges. So like, if you see my jacket has an orange in it, my hat had orange in it. So that's kind of a statement piece to like, hey, it's as simple as like understanding like, okay, your base layer, I think I'm a very plain person when it comes to my style. I just build well. So and then like the one on the left, that's my favorite outfit. So like that to me was, okay, well, I'm in New York City, and in New York City they dress a little more not outlandish but out there. So I found this shirt on ASOS that like was really cool, and it has like, and since I love speaking Spanish, it has like how much like Spanish all over it, and I literally have all the colors that's inside of that shirt. I have it on in different ways. So the goal was to kind of like, that was like my theme of New York. Theme is very busy, but also very simple, because New York is very busy, but it's still kind of simple. You know exactly what it is. That's the outfit was.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything is kind of like based off of what I'm going to today. So like if I'm going to a photo shoot later on, and that's another thing, if you look at all the backgrounds, they tend to be bigger backgrounds. My photography kind of side of it is like it's almost like, Devin, I'm standing in front of this. I'm saying I'm here, you know, versus being in front of a studio picture. Like those are cool, but I like backgrounds more because you get to see like city side of things, and you get to see like real life. You know, life is still happening behind you. You know, But yeah, that's pretty much it. My photos when it comes to that kind of stuff is pretty high photos, but my fashion is kind of standard, and it's just simple with build like some sort of statement piece. Every outfit has a statement piece. Every outfit has something that says like the first outfit was my shoes. There's some they're like gold sparkle John Baby's house.
Tell them about it.
That shit sounds
Tell
expensive.
them about it. I know about Veritas.
Tell
them about
fire,
it.
Yeah.
Tell them about it.
So
it was fire.
Yeah. No, I think New York is just, I think everybody needs to go just for that reason. Because the one thing I get tired of being in Atlanta is like everybody dress for everybody else. Like the shit they put on is like for everybody else to see that I have this. Like, look at what I got on. And that's like in New York, it's like I'm dressing for me.
Right.
And everybody, you'll see a girl on the subway with a Chanel bag. You see a nigga walking on the side of the road with like some rare Dunks, some rare Air Maxes or whatever. But it's like, this is for me. It's casual. It's comfortable. I do this every day. Like this is not showboaty.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This is me.
Yeah.
And they'll pair it with some shit they might have found thrifting or, you know, there's so many different shops out there. They really mixing and matching and playing. And I'm like, I love
and they have fun with it.
Man, what?
And sometimes it can be a little outlandish. Like I got some friends at NYU, New York University, and some of the things they put together, I said, well, that's your look.
Yeah. I know I get tired of the Amiri Power Rangers in Atlanta.
Oh my God! Don't get me started. and honestly, I still deal with that. I still suffer from that in a way because I did grow up in Atlanta, and so some things I do wear are the idea of like, look at what I got on. But my caveat to that is that stuff is typically my most subdued things. So I got some designer stuff, but most of my designer stuff is pretty simple.
Yeah, might not know what it is.
You ain't got to know what it is. So that way it kind of comes off as like, look at what I got on, but you really don't know what I got on.
Right.
I actually watched a video on some people in New York. It's like this dude just walking around asking people what they had on, and a lot of the people, like more than not, they were like, "Yeah, I did this. This whole outfit is thrifted." You know, and he would ask them how much it cost. They'd be like, "I might have spent $100 on the whole outfit." You know what I'm saying? Because they thrifted the whole thing, but they was clean. But it was like on some unique. Definitely not trying to look good for nobody else. Just something that they wanted to do, and they was having fun with it. So you talk about like New York and DC having a baby, and then having Atlanta, like, and now that you've lived in Atlanta and living in DC, it's kind of like you getting the touch of one of the parents and spreading out, and then you've been in New York a few times too, so you can definitely see it, and the outfits be fire, bro. The outfits be clean. That was just some of the pictures off it, bro. Instagram, of course, we gonna throw his tag up here somewhere so you can get some new followers, but still, bro, be clean out there.
Yeah. Are there any celebrity or athlete, fashion forward people that you look at from time to time for inspiration or?
So there's Marcel Flores. Marcel Flores is kind of like, he's more my calmer side of like my style. So like if I'm kind of wearing some casual stuff, he has a very, very simple casual style that I really, really like. Russell Westbrook, basketball player. I love his style. Oh man, his fashion is crazy.
All over the place.
It's all over the place. And I think that's what I like about it, because it's like I love his style. Some of LeBron stuff, I gotta admit, my outfit that I'm wearing for my graduation is loosely, if you ever see the LeBron, loosely based off of that, because I thought kind of that outfit, like the kind of style I wanted, but I kind of still changed it up and made it my own. That's been a project, this damn outfit, because I knew I needed to come hard.
So I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. I've been hyping this shit up all year, dog. Oh my God. I think it's gonna be
all
right.
Cap, that shit fire.
Oh yeah, the cap is cool.
The cap is fire.
But I probably not, I mean, honestly, I just kind of like follow trends. So like for instance, every year I watch all every single one of the like spring, summer, autumn, fall, winter shows. I watch like anywhere from as high as like I watch the women's Prada. I watch the women's Prada line. I watch Gucci line. I watch like I said, John Babitos and All Saints, and all the way down to like I'll even watch H&M's walks, because what they do is they kind of give you an example of, and a cool note to understand is, if you see it on the runway this year, give it 2 years, it'll be big for us. So
yeah,
it takes about 2 years for everything to travel downwards for us to be at like Zara level or H&M level. So
yeah,
I do a lot of
manufacturing and shit.
Right. So like currently right now, what's big is sparkles is back for men and women. And that's what I was looking for an outfit for myself. But the outfit I did like was a company called Low. I can't afford that. That was a $3,000 pant and shirt put together.
Is it Low? Wait, Low? It's my LOEWE.
Oh, Loewe or Loewe.
I think it's Loewe. I was just that's the shit.
It is Loewe.
That's where I've been getting all my like perfume cologne shit from lately. I think I'm on my third bottle.
Yeah.
I was trying to get some sunglasses too, because they shit kind of
but they
shit so wavy.
A celebrity named Kit Connor wore this blue over black, like it's a blue tucked in shirt with a black high waisted pants, and everything was kind of straight fit, but the whole outfit was sparkly. But it wasn't like cheap sparkles. Like that's
it was nice.
There's a difference.
Yeah, it is a difference.
And when I tell you, man, it was so clean. I said, and I've been trying to find an outfit like that for my graduation. But then the thing about it is, within my price range, that's where things you start seeing a difference in quality. And also that outfit was couture. It's not ready for sale. So that means that I ain't getting it. So but yeah, I think that's kind of what I do. I just watch a lot. I do a lot of like research on just like they just finished up all the walks for fall winter this year, because they do it opposite season. So, and seeing like Pharrell put out his new thing for Louis Vuitton, and Pharrell's been killing it, man. But
that shit with Louis Vuitton is outrageous.
Fuck, but people sleep on companies like Jacquemus. Like Jacquemus, man, oh my god, they quality is crazy. Another thing, when I think about Atlanta, people think of like, Atlanta is like a Miri, and you see the brand, the brand MCM and all these things like that. But have you heard of like Tod's? Tod's has a book bag that I want. That book bag is $3,000. But that leather is Italian leather, handmade, and that thing is so pretty. And I said I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it one day. But like, have you heard of these brands that nobody ever heard of? And can you sport that? That's real, and that's kind of what I'm working on. It's just like finding that on a cheaper scale.
For sure. Because there's a lot of good brands out there that's serving a lot of quality product, and that's the cool part about being in bigger cities too, is being able to find them. I feel like it's easier on the thrifting side, and then on the shopping side, there's like actual storefronts to support all of these different places. Now, Pharrell went crazy. I think Tyler, the Creator, went crazy. A lot of dressing comes down to comfortability and intuition, I think, as far as just kind of feeling comfortable and then knowing what it is that makes you feel comfortable. Has that been a developing process for you, your intuition, your decision making, or you feel like you've kind of always had it?
Yeah, for sure. I think over the years I kind of understood like how to put together an outfit, but probably since I was like 25, past 3 or 4 years, is when I think it's me leaving Albuquerque, actually, because I said 3 or 4 years. I'm like, I left Albuquerque 3.5 years ago. Albuquerque, like when I was dressing in Albuquerque, man, I would put on like a nice outfit and people would be like, "Oh, you're bougie." And I'm like, "Nigga, I got this from H&M, dog. What you mean?"
Yeah,
I just wear it better. I just wear it better, right? But every time we went to like California, I was shopping around California, and I'm like, "Oh, them jokers out here dressing. I like this." When I went to Europe, that's what changed. That's what it was. When I went to Europe, man, when I went to London the first time in 2019, like going into 2020, oh, that changed the game for me. Man, it's Monday morning. Not Monday morning. It's Saturday morning. Ain't nobody going to work, but everybody dressed. Everybody nobody walks around in sweatpants and certain outfits, because in that culture, it's considered ghetto. If you're wearing like Adidas track pants, you're not going to the gym. That's considered ghetto. You know, for us, we like being comfortable in America. When it was cold, everybody got, you know, when it was cold, everybody got on scarves and like suit jackets and long trench coats, and them jokers looked good.
Yeah,
the same way I feel about Italy too.
Europe in general, is a very it's old school, but it's still a very well dressed,
classic,
very classic. And
good
I think
cut
that's
on the trousers.
Right, and that's kind of what started my style to change a little bit. Is like, all right, when you see me in the streets, I don't give a fuck what you think anymore. You think I'm bougie? Cool. You think I look sloppy? That's on you. I don't care. I'm a dress for me. I'm a look to par. My grandmother, to this day, when she leave the house, I said, Grandma, you going to the Walmart? Oh no, baby, I don't care. Because they ain't gonna catch me looking bad at Walmart. I said, Grandma, a pair of slacks and some flats to go to Walmart, and I'm gonna look good while doing it. And so like I stand on that, right? I like that. And that's how we grew up. You know, we left the house. You as we got older, like even like I just stopped traveling without a polo shirt on. I just travel in a polo shirt. That's what mommies make me do. Polo shirt every time you travel. I don't care. I was 5 years old wearing polo shirts.
Be comfortable.
You know, and uncomfortable flying in Europe in a polo shirt. And now, but I still made it myself. So what I started doing was I found pants that look like not jeans. They look like better looking sporty pants. So like Lululemon, like Vuori. New Balance has even some pants that I wear all the time when I travel. So they still look put together. I wear my nice pair of shoes that are comfortable to walk in all day. And then I always wear like a Maryland, like my school's sweater or something like that. Because you're gonna think I'm a black man, but you're gonna know I'm educated. Yeah. And maybe that's that Atlanta side of me coming out right there, you know. Like, you're gonna see me, but you're gonna see me and be like, oh, this he good. He
on some shit. Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy because white people don't get that. And I think I think you go out, I feel like at work or whatever, it's like I'm dressing or putting shit together, or it could come down to hygiene, cleanliness. It's all, I'm doing a whole lot to kind of like and it's sad to say, because it's not something that I think we feel amongst each other. It's like I'm black, but not that. Right. Like, and by not that, I'm talking about all the stereotypes that get funneled into your direction that you're constantly outliving. And then people ask, like, well, then why is it so important that, you look like this, you put this on? It's because, like, in my head, it separates me for some reason. Right. And that might not even be the case. And probably the biggest epiphany for all black people, especially financially, is like being able to make better peace with that. But as far as like how it goes, like, now when you see me, understand for real. You dig what I'm saying? Like, don't
cut me. Don't say that. Because this outfit means you will get sued. Right. I don't fight. I don't have a reason to fight no more. I will call a lawyer. I'm calling the cops. I may not snitch. I'm gonna just call the cops and be like, hey, somebody here acting up. I need you to come.
Come take care of that.
Straight up.
Come take care of this.
Straight up.
Yep.
Yeah. So aside from fashion, Devin is also a photographer, extremely interested in photography. Talk about that, how you got into it. What inspires you when it comes to the pictures you're taking?
Okay. Man, photography's kind of been one of those things where I just kind of always liked it, and I just kind of got into it. I never really had like some dying passion to be like a photographer or something like that. I just legitimately one day was like, I see some pictures and I was like, I think I could recreate that, and then it kind of really ran from there. It's been about 10 years. Yeah, 10 years now. Started right after I graduated high school. And what I began to learn was that I loved the idea of people feeling their most beautiful. And the amount of times I've gone somewhere and I've taken somebody's picture and like, this top picture right here with the white girl, Abby, that was me literally telling her, just be yourself. And I was joking with her while she's looking and the light was just hitting perfect. And to me, that reminded me of like a movie moment when like they're falling through the flowers at the beginning of a scary movie or beginning of like some love scene movie or something where they're like having a really good time.
Yeah.
And then like the other picture, to me, like I always thought about like every picture you take needs to have some sort of like focal point. So if you look at all the Italian words actually lead to the Empire State Building in the back. And so like, and those are called leading lines. But my goal with that is just basically to, I don't know, find the beauty in everything. Because like, if you just take a picture of the street, it's like a busy street. But if you see, you know, everything has beauty in everything. Even like not knowing how to edit, you can still figure things out. And I think over the years, I just wanted to perfect my craft. And I wanted to be able to start getting paid on it. So I was like, okay, in order to get paid, you got to be actually good at it, you know. Do I want to do it as a full-time job? Absolutely not. I think that takes the love out of it because it becomes a career.
100%.
I enjoy being able to, you know, like that's my mom in the bottom right picture, and that's for her birthday shoot. And seeing her bring back out, like she used to model when I was a little kid, seeing her bring that back out, like, and I told her, I said, you got to bring it because I'm shooting. And seeing her pop back into it like it was nothing, and she hasn't been feeling that confident lately because she, you know, she just going through a lot. But so seeing that side of her and seeing her feel beautiful again, like that was amazing, you know.
I like the color of her hair too.
She did all that herself. She that night before she colored, she colored it all, like she bleached it all, she colored her hair pink, and then the next morning she did the curls. So
it looked like she definitely hopped back into the swing of her modeling days for sure.
Oh yeah,
she got back in her bag.
The last time we did this picture, she had over like 700 friend requests with nothing but men. I was like, y'all are crazy in like a few days.
Was it Stella got her groove back?
Right. Did we got her groove back?
For real. That's
all these shots are great. I was gonna ask too, because when I did it, it was all sports driven. All the pictures I took was sports driven. Like it was I had caught like this itch, it was random as shit. And I don't know, we went pretty far with it though. I shot up in Madison Square Garden. I shot in the Barclays Center.
That's cool.
We had a good time, but I was curious how you felt about, you meet different photographers along the way, like the more you shoot. And you mentioned leading lines, and I was gonna ask how you feel about photography as it relates to composition, right? And the rules of composition that exist. You got leading lines, you got the rule of thirds, you got the you got the different lenses you use as far as how it affects people's heights or even how it flushes out their face. Does that stuff matter to you? Because for some people it doesn't. They're like, I'm gonna just go out here, do what I want to do. And with respect to the fact that everybody's an artist and you can take with it and do with it how you want. Even when I'm watching movies and I see somebody who's following composition rules strictly, it means a lot to me because it makes a huge difference as far as how I receive the film. Like I watched Devotion with Jonathan Majors. I don't know if you saw that one. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, rule of thirds, the leading lines, the flight line, the way the lights carry you to the subject, the whole thing was just was a masterpiece as far as how it was composed. So it sounds like that's something that matters to you.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, I set this up the same way. So everything led to me. So if you look at how this line right here led to me, like this right here led to me, the middle piece is to me. This is my center spot to sit right here in the middle. Even all the lines you see here are focused to me because I'm the subject of the photo. I agree. 1917. Have you seen that movie? 1917 was a phenomenal shot movie.
Masterclass.
Oh my gosh.
Masterclass.
I was like, if I could ever see this. Oh my god, man. And the movie itself was actually really good. Dunkirk was a lot of military movies actually do really well with composition because it has to capture a lot at one time. So you have to be like I said, a masterclass of composition. For me, my biggest thing is I always try to have my goal is a big background. If it has to be small background, it has to have some sort of something to make it lead to you still because you're the subject. I'm not 100% strict on it, but so like I have my rule. I tell everybody who's shooting new, nothing should ever be even. It should always be odd. So if you see something in your photos, it should be 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 in your photos. It should never be 2 things in your photos because that makes the picture half and half. It should never be 4, 6, 8. It should always be 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. If you can count in your picture 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 things in your picture, cool. You automatically are a leg up ahead. Understanding people's I think my rule is like composition and people, the comfortability of them. When they become comfortable, your shooting becomes way easier. And also, what people don't learn is learning how to pose. Teach people how to pose. Tell them what to do. I tell everybody put their arms in the air and let them drop. That's your natural pose. You let them drop, your arms automatically relax because you had put tension under your arms. So raise them up. Now you're going to relax. That's your natural pose. And then go from there. Ask them what their good side is. Ask them, do they like for me, I'm beginning, now I'm losing weight again. I'm beginning to get like a chisel, like my chiselness back. So I like light to be behind me sometimes because light reflects my chiselness sometimes. So whenever you have people who like Walter, for instance, I'll use him. He is straight on. If I take a picture of Walter, he always looks better straight on because that's just him standing like this or him standing like this may not be his wave because for one, he has a beard. So his beard is his chin, his
jawline.
His jaw is not as accented anymore because of a beard. So that takes a lot of time. Right. So you do this, you lose things. So like just understanding, I'm a rules kind of guy. Now rules have to be broken. You can still have fun with them. So like for instance, I showed you of Little Italy. That was a busy picture. And the only reason I kept it is so what I did was I dimmed all of that down in the middle. But I brought up my shot. I dimmed the city leading to the Empire State Building. I dimmed that down a little bit. And then I brought shadows down, but I brought up the highlights for when you bring up the highlights, it brings out color as well.
Detail and colors.
Yep. And that was kind of the goal. Even things like for like the one with the picture on the top with Abby, the lighting, that was a lucky shot because the sun was hitting just so perfectly. So I told her stand still because if you look at the light, one of the leading lines of her is actually the sun to the beam of the camera lens to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the goal, and now even still right here, that's a easy rule of thirds picture. She's directly in the middle. All the pictures, the background is three parts of the background. It's a sky, it's the trees in the background, it's the foreground. That's three things right there. So everything is pretty simple. That's a simple picture. It's just I got lucky with some of the extra composition, like the sun and how the light was hitting the flowers. And I would literally just bring the camera around until I found what I liked. I was like, ooh. I think it's a mix of you got to have an eye. You got to build an eye. Luck comes with work. And that's life.
Luck is a big part of it. Yeah, it is. I mean, once you've got the understanding of all of that, luck does play a huge part of it.
I'm a big component in education was real. Luck comes with education. Whenever you get lucky when you're ready. You don't get God is not a God of luck. God is a God. Oh Lord.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Talk about it. God's not a God of luck. God is a God of reward from putting in work. And people will think that it's just lucky. It's not lucky. It is your time. I think that when it comes to photography, I've been blessed to really be able to put myself in situations where I've taken some really cool pictures. But I'll also sit there for some time. Pictures I've taken myself. So all pictures you see is me taking my pictures myself. That takes me 3 times as long to take 5 pictures for myself as to take anybody else because I'm a perfectionist. But I have to also keep moving away from the camera. Keep moving away to look at it and keep adjusting. Whereas a person, I can be like, hey, turn here, do this, do that, So all that comes with lessons, though,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I remember just talking to people as I meet them. It's like, now even on no arrogant shit, like, what were you trying to do here, or what were you looking at for real? You know what I'm saying? Because I agree that the odd number of subjects matters. The lighting matter, the composition matters. Even when you're editing and like, when to use saturation, when to use vibrance, when to use all of that little tic-tac stuff. There's a lot to tell the story that picture's aiming to tell in the end. So I'm always curious to see how people play those rules. You got any upcoming projects or collaborations you're excited about from a photography standpoint?
My upcoming, honestly, my graduation. That's a big project for me.
Hell yeah.
I wanted to do a little bit more, but money wasn't playing a part. My goal was to do all 3 colors. So I wore red, I wanted to wear yellow, and I wanted to wear white. Each going to be different pictures. So red was fall because fall colors, yellow was spring because spring colors, and white was like freedom. but that's also my school colors. I wanted to do all 3 pictures for graduation throughout the year, but it didn't work out that way. But what I'm planning on doing was actually I'm getting better into video. I did a video for my mom for her birthday, and like I did, it came out fire. Like I can put the videos together. So what I plan to do for myself is kind of like a mini trailer for graduation. I think I'm gonna do either Fiend by Travis Scott or Deep in the Water by oh my gosh, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Steadfast. But I want to do a song and kind of base it on and play around with it. So like you see me get my hair braided, you see me getting putting on my clothes, but as soon as the bass drop, you see me walk across the stage. And at the end, with Fiend, or at least with Fiend, at the end, the song, the bass and everything goes away, and it kind of just hear like just him singing and like a little bit of the track, and that's me in front of family like this, basically just like ending it with my. That's how. So,
that'll be hard.
And then of course taking pictures and whatnot. And the part I'm not really caring about, but I do want to basically put that out there, saying like it a lot of it's obviously me showboating myself, like saying like y'all, like I did this, right? But this is also me saying, y'all, look what I can do for myself, look what I can do for you. You know, a lot of times people always, when they look at my fashion, they're like, oh, you spend all this money. I'm like, a lot of times I do stuff for advertisement. Because look what I can do for myself. I can do way more for you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, facts.
And all this shit getting written off. My Tom Ford shoots are getting written off. That's you play smart, you think smart, you move smart, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's kind of what I have planned. That's my big one.
Sure.
Other than that, I just finished a series. I did my mom's, my sister's, and my other sister's birthday pictures. I did those. That was a big thing. I did a wedding a few weeks ago. So I'm kind of done for a while as far as like paid and or like taskings. So I'm just really doing my stuff. And then later on this year, I'm just at this point waiting for bookings. So
yeah.
Word.
I wanted to ask, I don't think we mentioned it. What is your major? Did we say that already?
Oh no. I'll be getting my bachelor's in kinesiology. And for people who don't know, kinesiology is the study of like your body mechanics and body movement, and whether it be within a sport or not. So
go crazy on that.
And then you said you got some programs that you'll be applying for soon, as far as like, I don't know if that's a part of like commissioning and like med school and all that stuff.
One is a commissioning program. One is slightly a commissioning program. I'm applying for what's called the EMDP2, Enlisted to Medical Professional Developmental Program. And basically, it is a program that basically you apply, you get in. It's a very competitive program. You do 2 years of all your prerequisites for medical school, and then they send you and then you get to apply for whatever medical school you want to go to. You go to medical school, you become a doctor, and you give the Air Force the years back.
Hell yeah!
Okay, word. That's solid. That's super solid.
So my goal is to be a doctor, Dr. Cobbs.
Dr. Cobbs. You know, I be calling like Dr. Cobbs all the time.
Yeah, and I say all the time at work. I ain't gonna get me sued. They be saying at work. They said every day when they're like, "Oh, Dr. Cobbs," I'm like, "Hey, sir,
not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming. But God willing, it's coming.
For sure. Yeah. Well, listen, bro, that's all the best to you, man. We can't wait to hear and be able to celebrate when you get that done, and then congrats on the graduation. That's a big milestone in itself.
Appreciate it.
I will say before we get out of here, we finally got a name for this segment. We ain't have a name for this segment for 4 or 5 episodes, but I think we're just gonna roll with Open Ranks Tactical 10, similar to Drink Champs. Yeah, so we're gonna ask you. It's gonna be something that gets put up on the screen. You're gonna have to make some choices. You know, it's either this or that. Rank them. I don't think we're at the point yet where we'll match Drink Champs with having to take a shot if it's so difficult. But if it is, don't be ashamed to let people know that, I had a hard time doing this one. So let's get into Tactical 10, bro.
Okay.
All right. So in order, we got all of the Fridays. Friday, next Friday, Friday after next.
Put them in order. Number 1 will be Friday after next. Number 2 will be Friday. And number 3 will be next Friday.
That's good. I like that one. It is tough.
Because Friday at the next was just wild.
Friday at the next was the best one to me.
They was wilding, but Friday was also still a good starter. Like they did a good job. Next Friday
It was a great starter. I like that. I like that order.
I'm not mad.
Next Friday was heat too. Next Friday was
heat, but it wasn't hitting on Friday because Friday came with some still things we still say to this day. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I feel like we say next Friday is no more locked doors. You know, but Friday we still literally still use that meme of damn like all the time. You know,
still talking about this spark.
Yeah, facts. Friday, yeah. I like that order. All right, moving on.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
I know you got to pick one, bro.
Blue Flame all day. I
Blue Flame or Magic City?
Blue Flame all day because I actually know a girl that worked there and she is drop dead. I've known her since we were middle schoolers and she was fine then and I was in the middle school together. You know, she's still. I just saw her on Instagram the other day and I was like,
yeah, I'm taking Blue Flame.
Blue Flame all day. Neither one of them.
But Onyx is a good. Onyx is all right too, though. You know,
Onyx
add that to the list.
Yeah,
we'll add that to the list. Hell yeah. All right, moving on. Let's see. All right, now this is like New Orleans native right here. What we going with? I knew this was gonna be hard. We got gumbo.
One has to go.
One has to go gumbo or crawfish boil.
Can I go? Because I can't let them go.
You can't let them go.
Oh man! All right, if I had to pick one, only because I definitely know how to make. I do a crawfish boil all the time. I'm doing for my graduation, so I'm gonna say gumbo has to go.
Wow, that's first.
I love seafood, man. I love both, man. My heart hurting right now just saying that. But I'm gonna say one because the first one gumbo because this gumbo don't look that good to me.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you know,
we got it. You know what? And you know what? Offline because it's no telling when we might use this again based on where somebody's from. And like I said, Laisha from New Orleans, and she said the same thing. So we're gonna find a picture, right? That satisfies y'all.
Wait, she said the same thing?
Go with.
Yeah, matter of fact, send me a picture, bro. I need help.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we obviously need some help. You know, we've been to New Orleans, we had it, but you know, Google got many images.
Okay.
I would say it's hard to get good crawfish outside of that pocket.
They actually the one I got here when we did my party here a few years ago. For that was pretty. They have some pretty solid here, but you pay for them though.
You paying for them, right? Especially out of season, and they be a whole lot smaller.
Yeah. I don't get them out of season.
Mm-mm. Hold on, you say you doing another one for graduation?
Yeah, my graduation.
You doing it at the house?
No, I got a venue.
Oh, okay. You're gonna do it at the venue. Okay. Yeah, that's on the same day.
Yep. So we leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'll be there for sure. It's gonna be We do for a good crowd.
I got a DJ and everything, dog.
Oh yeah, it's going up.
Yeah. Let me know what you need, bro. I'll help you out.
I appreciate it. So we'll talk on it for sure.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Next one. All right, you got tickets to each of these. They the same night at the same time.
Well, I'm a Saints fan, so none of these shits. But if I had to pick, I haven't been to Atlanta United yet, and I heard it's pretty fun. So I want to try that out. But
hey, bro,
I'm a Saints fan all day, baby.
I never be crazy.
The soccer games go nuts. I feel like the Falcons is hard because they're not good, right? So the energy be hit or miss in the stadium.
Right.
Atlanta Hawks, everybody go there to be seen.
Right.
They ain't really watching basketball for real. But Atlanta United,
that's real fans.
That's where it's at, bro. That's a real fan, but it's real passion. They yelling, they stomp. You can hear them stomping their feet, slapping the chairs. Like it's a whole people is there to be at the game, give a shit what they got on. It's a whole section of people ain't got on those shirts. Ain't nobody there to be seen. They're there to participate with the event. So like, I might
when I come out to Atlanta next time, we have to link up. I might want to go to that.
Yeah, for sure. Atlanta United is hard, bro. Like when they score a goal, they got the flames going up in the air. It's dumb. It's a good time for sure.
For sure.
Devin, you been to a DC United game?
Nope.
Oh, we gotta go then, bro. I done been to like 3 of them. They crazy.
Once I'm done with school, bro, I'm free. Like we good.
It's outside. Yeah.
I'm gonna get on VetTix, see if I can find some tickets.
All right, bet.
Hey man, hey, listen, if you don't know about VetTix, because he gonna say that, but I be trying to tell him all the time, it's free tickets. If
I
they're
only
available.
really go with you. That's the crazy part.
That's what I'm saying. But Henry, he try to play me on it, but it's free tickets. I tell them all the time, they don't be hearing me. They just like to pay for shit. Anyway, next. Okay, so you got delete one.
I got my answer already.
Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society?
My favorite movie, one of my favorite movies of all time is Boys in the Hood. So
straight up, I just watched that a couple weeks ago. Straight
literally
up.
my probably one of my top 5 movies of all time. I love it. I literally watch that movie. I love that movie, bro.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going with that one too.
How you know God? How you know God ain't a sheep? He could be a sheep. You don't know that.
That's a classic, bro.
Okay. Do you know these brands?
I know Essentials.
So
Yeah.
I know both. Eric. Okay, so you got Eric Emanuel or Jerry Lorenzo. Obviously, you got the shorts on the side, having the 2 E's or whatever, and then on the right you got Fear God, Essentials.
I ain't put this shit on purpose. I forgot we was doing this question.
If I had to say my only issue, I'm gonna say Eric Emanuel, because with Jerry Lorenzo, all his stuff to me is kind of simple, and I like simple, but I feel like they don't. I feel like I rarely ever see something that's like out of pot, like out the norm. So I'm gonna go with Eric Emanuel.
Okay. I don't even know. I don't have any pieces. Well, I do got pieces.
I don't have none of the pieces from either, but I know about both pieces for sure.
Because he had a piece with Louisville, like a red short with Louisville. So I did like that one. So I'll probably go Eric Emanuel. All right.
I go Fear God. I got a lot of Fear God.
Fear God.
Always.
Okay, so you got to choose, bro. One got to go.
One got to go.
One got to go. It's No Limit Records.
I'm gonna say No Limit Records got to go, because Cash Money is gonna be what I'm gonna stick with, only because Lil Wayne's early era up until like Carter 3, like he was unstoppable, and that's the time of Cash Money.
Yeah,
and that's still one of my favorite artists of all time. That Carter 3, even Carter 4, but Carter 3, man, like that is literally something that I damn near like know every song.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Plus, you think of all the people that came out of them at Cash Money, like you got Drake.
Even though that was young. So that was young.
Oh, I mean, well, you feel me? Derived from Cash Money, like
right.
No Cash Money,
like Cash Money, bro. They produce. I mean, you got to give Nicki her flowers. You know what I'm saying? She look crazy now, but like that. She, bro,
what she be on sometimes.
She be on some weird shit, but I'm like, you ain't got to fight for the top, baby. You still at the top. Relax, like you good. Like,
for real.
Yeah,
for real. I feel like her fans is gonna give her that anyway.
Right.
And people got a lot of work to do to get up to her level, like as far as like what she's been able to accomplish.
Right. Like I'm like, the shit she put out, bro. I'm still word for word rapping her shit, you know. But yeah,
I'm not even a crazy Nicki Minaj fan. It's just the facts are the facts. You feel me?
Right.
The facts is fact. I'm not a crazy Eminem fan, but I respect.
Yeah. Right.
I can't take
That's
away
how I feel Eminem too. I feel the same.
You know what I'm saying? I can't take it away.
Like I'm not a big Eminem fan, but you got to think there's some songs you hear you like that motherfucker cold.
Yeah, and he sold the records that he sold the albums that the numbers speak for themselves when he was in his prime too. So I ain't gonna get no argument out of me.
All right, free flights or free groceries?
Free flights. Not even a question. Take me somewhere.
We've all been to bed hungry before. I get on the plane.
Last night, bro. I waited till late to eat, and I was like, I ain't gonna eat. We good.
Yeah, free flights.
Cool. Yeah.
Because I ain't had to pay for that. Now I got money for food. You feel me? So we lit.
But groceries is expensive.
Groceries are expensive. I thought this was gonna be a little harder, honestly. But then I had to think like, damn, how often am I really cooking? You know what I mean? Against how often I'm actually flying. Yeah. I feel like I fly more than I cook. It's crazy. All right, so the next one we have. All right. Have a maid or a chef for life?
Maid.
What you going with? A maid?
A maid.
Because if I can cook everything, come in there and clean everything up, I'm good.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I love to cook. And with our job, we clean every day already as it is, bro. I hate coming home and having to clean up again.
Facts. So, that's the piece nobody know about.
Mm-hmm.
Both.
For real. Well, see,
you ain't lying.
My only issue with chef is I'm picky as hell. I don't eat everybody's food.
That's
so,
true.
Like,
Yeah,
and you gotta
I
be able
feel
to make
that.
everything I like. And that's my issue.
You gotta have
Yeah.
multiple. Okay, you do good with this. Yeah, you coming on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, like
Right.
yeah,
I need my tacos on Tuesday. As a matter of
Straight
fact,
up.
like
bring them on Saturday.
for real.
Straight
Okay,
up.
I like that. Both of them. If I got enough bread, hell yeah, we bring them both in there. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's real.
All right. All right, now I know how this was gonna do for you. Look at him. He already. Yup. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. New Orleans bounce or my piano.
Do I have to pick one?
Yeah, you
Gotta
gotta
pick
pick one.
one. We ain't got no liquor. Gotta pick one.
I'm the
So,
only reason. Oh, I'm hurting my heart saying this. The only reason I'm gonna say my piano is because I can play it anywhere. Because with New Orleans bounce,
Yeah.
the shit they say on there is pretty vulgar. And like even like with my graduation party, like I'm probably won't play much New Orleans bounce because like one of the songs is like, you know, stalking my trade, you know, just know he got a big dick, sis. Like I can't play that everywhere.
yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in my piano, first of all, we don't know what they're saying. They could be saying the same shit in their own language, but we in that thing, you know, going at it, you know. So
Yeah.
and my piano, I can listen to every single day, all day because it's a good vibe. So I'm gonna say my piano, though. My heart hurts saying that out loud. Y'all. Oh man.
I had to do it to you, bro.
Man.
Yeah, man.
I had to do it to
For
you.
sure.
Listen, man, I appreciate you coming on today. It's been a pleasure.
Man. Probably best episode of the year.
Yeah, for sure. Going crazy.
Yeah.
Man. I'm glad you got to come on here and open up and share a little bit of insight on you.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I definitely want to let you know that I admire you and what you've been able to accomplish and your goals, and it's an inspiration to me. And I know it's an inspiration to others as well. So
For
just
sure.
want you to know that I see you and proud of you as well. My boy about to graduate a couple weeks, man. I know it's a lot more to go.
Yeah.
It's a hell of an accomplishment right there, man. Hell yeah.
But I mean, you know, I appreciate it. You know, I mean, and honestly, same thing for y'all, man. Like y'all doing something that a lot of people ain't doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's more than, you know, it's much appreciated, not only for myself, but people in the picture when y'all are big and blowing up and people are seeing these things that people are talking about, you know, because it gives a real side of things that nobody else is doing. And so like,
yeah,
I've been watching y'all for a while and I've been like really paying attention to things y'all talk about, and y'all it's not ratchet, it's very well productive. Like you guys, you had a script, like man, like things like that, and just watching y'all, you know, do this together, and you could tell y'all are an actual team. And so
yeah,
I appreciate y'all for even you know, allowing me to be a part of this process. And you know, and for you, Walter, you know, you my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like Trey, you automatic my boy too. But you know, Walt, you know, Walt, me and Walt, we've been here like ever since damn near day one. Like you know, I've been attached. We've been attached to the hip, and I'm proud of you and seeing you, like, you know, seeing you win, bro. It's
absolutely.
It's crazy, you know, and I can only imagine what the future's gonna hold. You know, not only for me, for you, for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always joke, but I'm kind of serious when I say it. But when I'm waiting for that day for us to, you know, take each other talking about some, hey man, I want to go back to Fiji because I forgot to get that rock last time I went. You know, on some you know,
yeah, for sure.
You know, when we celebrating, like we had that conversation one day talking about we compare each other cars. Well, mine sound like this, well, yours sound like that. Like, you know, families and wives and kids and all that, man. And I'm excited for all that process, man, for all of us, you know.
For sure.
Seeing you in Chelsea, bro, y'all are really the inspiration of like, all right, this is what I want to model. Well, you know.
So, I appreciate that, bro. You're gonna get every invite. Don't even worry about it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, though. You can't miss the next time we get together for sure.
Oh yeah. When y'all, hey, when I come to Atlanta, we're gonna have to go to a United game for sure. Because I've been thinking about y'all for real. We need to go to that. You know, they doing the World Cup. What you call that? FIFA.
Oh, FIFA coming next year.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they about to shut this whole city down.
It's gonna be all. I'm trying to go to like probably 2 of the games. I want to go to one in Atlanta for sure. Why not? And so But I already put my name in for that registry. So if y'all want to do that, that'd be dope, bro.
Send me the link.
I'm with it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
That's gonna be legit. I already know it's gonna be a time.
Nuts. I can't. I'm working remote, if working at all, the whole time it's here. It's
I'm
nuts around the city. Man, what? It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
You got people, especially for people who live further away from the company. They say they ain't driving. They ain't driving in the city when that's going on.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I appreciate you guys a lot. Like, it's me doing this even is kind of therapeutic for myself, because I mean, people, you hear all people talk about is like, the things you're doing well, but like, well, Devin, how's your mental? And Devin, how are you really doing? And so like things like this is kind of therapeutic in a way to like be able to not brag, but just truly talk about myself, and say like, this is how I'm really feeling right now. This is what I'm really going through, and this is what I'm really, and having people willing to listen, like, that's kind of cool, And at the same time, but it's not also about me. Like, it's also about trying to inspire others, and like you said, keep going. And if my little ass from Louisiana could do it, anybody could do it.
Yeah.
I'm just a little boy from Louisiana. I ain't nobody special. I just pray, and I look up every day, and I'm like, all right, God, it's me and you, man. What can we accomplish today? And if you gonna whoop my ass today, God,
turn the accent on one time.
I'll call you again tomorrow. We'll talk about it again. You
hear me? I said turn the accent on one time.
Lord, all right. So, because the thing about it is, like when I'm speaking like this, everybody can't understand what I'm saying. So, it's a big difference,
Crazy.
And
that shit crazy.
Because the crazy part about all of it is, I don't know. I just, look, dog. So I guess, a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying. I'm talking like this because people, they think of it, they hear my accent. They say, oh, baby, you act like this, act like that. And all I want y'all to know is, baby, at the end of the day, I'm still Devin. I'm still Devin from New Orleans, Jeremy. I'm still that. But at the end of the day, like, don't just because you didn't accent don't mean I'm still not gonna sue you, baby. I'm gonna still have you in a courtroom, me and a judge. So it is what it is, Jeremy.
Yeah. I appreciate you, bro. We're gonna go ahead and close it up, man.
You, bro.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely,
man. Thank you.
Fall out.